2006.
It's when they were born.
No,
They must have been born in 2006. All right, good morning, people. Happy new month. Happy new week. It is Monday, the 2nd of October. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And let's get to know our host for today.
It's your boy, Big Marsh on the east side of the bridge. 6 foot plus of pure temptation and all that good stuff.
I love it. It's your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
Hello, hi.
Can you send her, please? Yep.
It's your girl, Just Jean, representing the fitness queens in the scene. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Ow.
There you go.
Looking really good today, Gina.
Oh, thank you so much. And for your information, we have not been out on our dates yet.
Sure.
No, we haven't.
Yet is the
Yes.
key word. Yet is the key word in that sentence.
Hold on. You do not banner. Guys, man, it's all for shits and giggles. You know I've got you on the entertainment side.
Love that. Content queen.
Come on.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, and of course the melanin is jam-packed.
Always. How's everyone today?
Don't.
First of all, big up Brent with the caller coordination and the
Yep.
graphics and all that great stuff. Something light, love that. Super lit, looks so nice. How are you today?
A Magnum sign or something.
Okay. How are you today, Brent? I'm not doing this. No.
I'm good, thank you very much.
Yeah, good.
Busy weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Productive.
Yeah, very productive.
Getting things done.
100%.
Love it.
I went to
How's
go
your
have
CEO?
a simple meal and a drink.
I saw that.
Huh?
I saw that and I thought,
What, on Sunday?
I thought you meant the other one. Was it? When Loons and you was coming to tell the man about the bill and whatnot?
Oh, no, that was last week. Yeah, that was annoying. They always do that to me anyway, so.
There you
But
go.
I went for a simple meal and a drink. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to go for one. It was a tough weekend, you get me? Depressed. So I was like, let me just go for a drink and thing. So then I went to the place I wanted to go, and then like the security there is not usually security, they're telling me I can't come in. There's a brunch going on, they booked out the whole event, whatnot.
Okay.
So if you ain't got a booking with them or whatever, you can't come in. Didn't enjoy that. But obviously,
The girls got to do what the girls got to do.
but you know, being the man I am, someone recognised me. It's like, what are you doing out here? It's like, I'm trying to come in, they can't come in. They say, what, you?
Come on in.
Get in there. Get what I'm saying? So me and my mate went there, ended up going to a brunch. Oh my God.
Was it fun?
It was all right, but I just drank too much.
But
And that wasn't my plan.
But I think was it nice though? Like the brunch ambiance is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Brunches are lit.
Brunches are lit,
Brunches
man.
are so lit though. Like for me,
think
I have a brunch every day of the week.
Girl.
But this felt like a work do or something.
Is it?
Like the demographic in there was... It was
Diverse.
it was diverse is the word I'm looking for. It was just such a mixed batch, like
If you can-
Asian.
You're all not the same friendship
That's
group.
how you know
These
it's a
people
work
don't know each
thing.
other. Like,
Yeah.
they're not even
Must
like...
have been at work, yeah.
It was just weird. Like, there's like older women, younger, white, black, Asian, like
all
just
of them.
Yeah.
everything across the board. I
What
was
was
just
the
like, I don't know
work
how are we playing this. I don't know what tactics to
He
use.
said, "How are we playing this?"
Yeah, because we were just there, 2-man midfield, all these jars and that. I'm saying I don't even know whether to press, whether to sit back. Like I was like,
What we
rah.
doing here? That's funny.
Yeah, I had too much to drink, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
why
not
you're
gonna be
down
so
bad
weak.
today? I hear it.
Well, you're here, which is good.
That's good.
You guys? Gina? Thank God you're here.
I know.
What
Thank
happened
God.
to Sheena?
I've been down
I was
bad.
down bad on my deathbed, mate. I thought the vid almost had me, but you know.
Well, you didn't call me to come look after you. Okay.
Yeah.
Silence is death.
Excuse me. Don't come with your ad libs now. You would have not.
What about
Come,
emails? Gonna
you would have not come to my rescue.
You know,
Brent,
fully
on
well
Friday
would
when I
come to
wasn't here
rescue.
yet, did you tell them I wasn't here?
No.
No.
Okay, you're excused.
Okay.
Huh?
You're like, no.
You're-
Oh, you were saying if it is that time he
If
knew
you did
you
tell
should
it,
have
yeah,
called.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You know I would have called you.
To be honest, you not being here, he should
He
have
should
called
have been.
anyway.
He should have been like, "Where were you? I missed you today, man."
Busy bee, man. I know you're a working girl and that. You get me? Taking
How about
over
you
the
retire
world.
me? Sorry.
How about you retire me?
He's a busy working girl.
And do you know what? It's that. I think that personally, actually, that's a fair request.
Do you know what I mean? Retire
You
me.
love me so much. Retire
Retire me,
me,
baby.
then. Retire me then.
So when you come home, I'm there.
This is it.
Literally at your beck and call.
All right, let me sort a few things out.
There you go.
No behavior about to go. What? But I work them to their bones.
This is so funny. But yeah, listen, this is what I said and I stand by it. See all this key stuff we're doing, yeah? It is ruining my market.
Yeah,
It's ruined. Listen, when I say my market is in the tatters. It's in the
ruining it.
bin.
No, 100%.
So,
You might get jumped, you know. You know there's girls that don't like you.
So I'm telling you.
I'm just going to give you some information. You know there's girls that don't like you.
Because of this.
Yeah.
Alright, so cool. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Listen, you're gonna have to step up one day and be a man. I swear to God. Do you know why?
Go on, just put a ring on it.
Because my market is in the tatters and it's in the bin.
First of all, Gina,
So I'm just saying.
Gina, I'm on your side.
Okay, sorry.
I will write you a good alibi whenever you need it.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever you need it.
Thank you.
But there were other options you could have explored.
Rather than him
with a ring
being
on it. I thought she was going to say you to be a man and stand up and tell everyone it's a joke. She said you to make it official.
No, you know what? Because I think it's quite fun. I'm enjoying this. This is hilarious.
This is good. Maybe carry on.
It's literally hilarious. It's straight. Do you know what it is? It's the DMs for me. After the TDA thing, I thought, wow, you lot have really invested.
Some people are invested.
Like,
It's a mum and dad
really?
situation. They've told you that next year,
We have to
certain
go matching.
events, certain events you guys are
matching
both gonna be at,
attire.
you have to be doing matching ashoke kind of vibe.
Yeah, I'm on it. Just put me on. Tell me where to buy the material.
Yeah.
There we go. See, this is
I think that'd be so
great.
lit, you know.
But
I'm really rooting for that.
I just know that my market's in the bin. I know that already.
Mine too, so.
Please. Do you know I don't believe that because I feel like sometimes with men, yeah, you guys become more attractive when like, I mean, no, it's like,
Yeah, when a guy's taking
when a guy's
sometimes
taken
there,
or when,
yeah.
when there's like a girl around a guy, it makes them more attractive to other women, so they don't care.
If
Please.
anything, you're up in your market.
They'll be on the watch me squash this shit.
Because
vibe.
it's like
They'll
it's a
be
challenge.
yeah.
I'm gonna be the one to separate that.
That's the vibe they're gonna be
Women are
on.
down bad. Women are down bad.
Instead, for me, man, I'm gonna be like abort mission.
Yeah. Yikes.
So
But that hasn't been happening, right? People haven't been getting vexed with you because.
no, do you know what? I keep. No, they have.
I feel like they must.
Don't
be
you remember when I
jokes.
told you when I kept after the gala and it was like, oh, why has he got his
Yeah.
hand around your neck and that's what. All right, calm down, guys.
Damn.
It's a joke.
Tell them mind their business. Mind your goddamn business, people.
Oh, you heard it. You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we have a new segment. It's called Black History Month, lest we forget. So let's get into it. So, as you guys know, it's Black History Month, which is, of course, very, very fantastic. And it was an Independence Day. Well, 2 countries yesterday. 2 African countries that we know. What's going on? What is that? Oh, I thought it's been the national anthem. Sorry.
No.
So it was Cameroon's Independence Day yesterday.
Yep.
Big
Big
up
up the
them.
Cameroons.
It's Nigeria. Don't do horns for the next country. It was also Nigeria's. And I was saying to Brent early before the show started that it's so funny. Nigerians in diaspora are the only ones who celebrate independence. We're the only ones who throw parties and do all this stuff because we're very disengaged
I was gonna
from the reality.
say,
It's embarrassing.
What is so interesting was I was gonna say, is it me or is it really Nigerian independence? Because
Yeah.
it was
It's quiet.
quiet. It was so interesting because usually.
Do you know what happened, Gina, one time?
A
A few years ago, they got dragged.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The diaspora got dragged.
Really? Okay, I
Yes,
didn't know that.
because I think it was it, when was NSARS? That was the 19th of October. So it was a year. It was a year that, you know, they trusted the people here were saying, oh my gosh, happy independence. And the people back home were like, as if you're not okay.
Yeah.
Which I'm here for the rightful dragging because I've never really celebrated independence because it's a mess. It's a damn mess. But yesterday I saw some parties, some theme stuff, and I said, y'all just embarrassing. You guys are just embarrassed. And someone actually talked about it online because someone said, there's nothing about Nigerian independence. And someone's like, yeah, but what is there to celebrate? And she was like, the only people that do all of that parties and all this stuff is people in diaspora because the people there know how bad things are. So something to think about when you are posting yourselves in the Ashobi that you wear to someone's wedding once a year. But in better news, today, the 2nd, is actually Guinea's Independence Day.
Big up Guinea.
Big up Guinea. So that's really cool. The doc, wasn't it?
Yes.
Do you want to? You can take over that part.
All right, cool. Well, basically, like Esther was saying, we just wanted to highlight a few things because obviously, you know, there's like 50 plus African states, bare countries in the Caribbean, and I feel like only a handful of them really do we really kind of know about them, and you know what I'm saying. So obviously Nigeria, we know bare about Nigeria, but I still feel like there's certain things the average person doesn't really know about Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? In fact, let me ask you guys, how many ethnic groups do you think are in Nigeria?
52.
I honestly love that for that story. Don't laugh. Just into a cough, my bed. I mean, I don't even know myself. To be fair.
I don't know.
Wait, in fact, let me ask this question. How many ethnic groups are there in this country? Like, if you were to look at the natives of this
British.
country, are they all one ethnic group?
White.
Yeah, but are they, like, Welsh people ain't, like, Irish people,
I guess it's
different
ethnic.
ethnicities, isn't it?
They're the ethnicity.
Is it?
Irish,
I think so.
Scottish.
Different language, different, like,
Welsh.
culture.
You think they're different?
They got different languages.
Like,
Yeah.
don't Irish people get offended if
Yeah,
you
they do.
call
Yeah.
them like British or white? Like,
Or Scottish and stuff.
That's because of their history. And the English people was pillaging the country for years and stuff like that. They just got beat. They don't like each other. So, but language and that, it's just distance and
But
like.
it's very different language. It's not like just an accent.
No, I hear that and I get the
like
mindset.
Welsh
of
is
it.
a whole
completely
language.
different.
I can't
Yeah.
see English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh people as different.
different.
That's just crazy to me. Like, and obviously, I understand there's people out there that's going to take offense to that, and they got their traditions and all these things.
Yeah.
But what? Are we being serious?
Apparently so.
On this tiny godforsaken island, it's not even like it's a big country like that. Like
one
this
nation.
little place, and you think they're different? Okay, anyway,
Yeah,
So where some of them are better vibes than others then?
that's true.
very true.
Like who?
You know what's mad?
Inquiring minds.
When they both said that's true, I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's fine. Everyone just say, yeah, like that who? I don't know, I heard.
I can say, I don't know, I heard. You're funny.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, Nigeria, over 250 different ethnic groups.
So I was closest.
Yes.
Well, you're the only one that really answered. So
Yeah. And apparently speaking over 500 different languages in Nigeria alone.
serious.
Maybe that's where they try to
Yeah.
build the Tower of Babel.
Maybe.
Considering the land.
There you go.
Sounds
Maybe.
about-
But when you say, how can it be 500 different languages?
I was gonna.
It's 500 different groups of
There
people.
is.
I thought there would be like just 250 different languages in it. But
Does it count the dialects? Because you know, even within Yoruba is different.
different dialects, yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I'm not too
Because
sure.
with Yoruba, it doesn't sound the same when everyone speaks. There's certain Yorubas, I'm like, you lost me at
Yeah.
good morning.
Yeah, that's how diverse the country is, man. Because there's so many small different groups. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be fair though, a lot of people try kind of group Calabar as Igbo people, innit? But they're not.
Yeah, they do, but they're not.
They're not. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
it's
So I
like the
think-
Edo people as well. People try to book
Exactly.
them as Igbo, but they're not.
Exactly. So there's so many different things. Yeah. For those who don't know, Nigeria is the economic heartbeat of Africa. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
let's go to notable people.
Do you know what's so funny? Have you noticed how today now he's
Nigerian today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Don't
know.
worry,
love
Ghana's
that
coming
for you.
soon, so
it's fine.
I'll switch.
He said I'll switch.
It's the largest oil and gas producer in Africa as well.
Yes, we also don't have it.
It's a goddamn
most.
shame. Another reason to, postpone the celebrations for independence. Obviously, the flag, green, white, green. The green represents the natural wealth of the country.
Okay, Emmanuel, this is jokes.
Guess what white represents?
Peace.
Peace!
I don't want peace. I want problem always.
That's so funny, man.
One day we're going to sort out the country. You know what I'm saying? So let's be positive.
I don't know if it's gonna be my lifetime.
Huh?
I don't know if it's gonna be my lifetime. That's the honest truth.
She hopes it's in her lifetime.
Yeah, we hope, man.
Positive.
Oh, okay.
Because, to be
Manifestation.
fair,
I was gonna move to Gambia, but yeah, amen.
because to be fair, if you compare like all these African countries that got independence in the 60s, 70s, a few in the late 50s, right? They're babies compared to like a nation like America that got independence in the 1700s or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
There's a lot
strides.
of-
But we have a
there's
lot of wealth
yeah.
though, and we're not using it. That's the problem.
That's because the whites are influencing a lot of the leaders. They've still
Since
got us in
when,
the
though?
chokehold.
Influencing them since when? They have to take some
Since the
accountability.
beginning.
So
Oh,
unless
no, I
they
agree.
take accountability, we're not going to move forward. And they're not trying to take accountability. It's not in the Nigerian blood to do so. Very proud people.
It's a damn shame, man.
Damn shame.
But if you say that though, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is pretty much the fate of almost every African country. That's because, you know what I mean, the whites, the British, the French, Americans, they're all there, man, pillaging our home countries. I think we kind of mentioned this on the show before, but there's a town called Ora, right, in Yoruba land, which has the highest rate of identical twins in the world. Yeah. I feel like every Yoruba person's got twins in their family, innit?
I knew it. Because one time, my friend and I were talking about this, because I said if I wanted to have kids, I'd want twins.
Yeah.
And she was talking about like eating yams and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where it comes from.
So, yeah,
Eating yam.
Yeah. Really helps scientifically. There's a cell in in yams that can do that. What's funny?
Is it true? Is that why there's a lot of? I feel like there's a lot of twins. Like most twins I know are Nigerian.
Yeah, 100%.
No, what's funny?
It's the highest in the world.
No, but it's crazy. I want twins.
Start eating yam.
I'm gonna start eating yam. I am. You stay there.
You know they eat hard food in Jamaica, innit?
What?
No, but
You're not Nigerian there.
No, but to be fair, you lot don't eat yam like we do. Because remember, when I first came to your house, Brent?
Yeah, we eat a lot of Edos.
Excuse me.
That's our version of yam.
What's Edo?
So it's not yam then, is it?
It isn't, but
So what are you laughing about then, you eggs?
no, but we also eat yam.
No, but you lot eat
Really?
yam like a side, innit?
Yeah, y'all eat it like
Like
a
a
It's a
main.
main.
meal.
What do you mean? It's a
The
main. You gotta
yam's
get
the
your,
meal.
you
It's
gotta
a
get
main,
your
yeah.
hands dirty.
Yeah, so
It's
you
the main.
It's
Yam
different
and
to us.
eggs.
Everything else is the side.
Yam with stew.
The eggs is the side.
Yeah.
The
Literally.
stew is the side.
Yeah,
the
yam
fish
is
the side.
You have most of the biggest thing on your plate is
Bro,
yam.
it's a yam.
Yam.
And
What's it called? The
greens.
soup
And
you eat the pounded jam with is the side. The yam is the meal. That's the main thing.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Yeah, that's my dad. Obviously, my dad's old in it, and my mum always says the reason why he's lasted so long and he's quite strong for his
Because
age
of yam.
is because that's all he eats. That's all my dad. I've never seen my dad eat rice in my life. Like
It's yam.
He's only eaten yam and green banana. Like,
love yam.
His whole life, literally.
I love yam so much, man. I'm such a no mind.
And is that why y'all have that saying, don't pick the yam up?
What saying? And
Yeah,
where did you get
it's
that
like
from?
when,
not talking about
no, it's like
Ghanaians,
when you
talking
pick
about
money up,
Nigerians.
you turn into yam.
You see?
Oh, okay. I don't think
So in the streets of Nigeria, never pick money up. Unless it's yours and you saw it fall out your pocket. But if you're walking down the street, you just see a note, don't pick it up. It's a setup. You turn to a goat or a yam.
Got it.
So yeah, man, in that particular time, because I remember watching a documentary on that, yeah. It was crazy.
This is the man of twins.
Just twins galore.
That's wild.
Twins all over the place.
But this is what I'm saying is because when I think about it, so I've got friends, right, and there's two sets of twins in their family. So my two friends who were like my age, they were two twin sisters. Then they had an older brother and sister who were twins, and then they had an older sister. So there's 5 of them. But the older sister, she's by herself.
Okay.
She gave birth to 2 twin girls,
See?
and then the sister who's a twin gave birth to 2 twin
Twins
boys.
as well.
Like, and then their mum is like their family is
See what I'm saying?
nuts. Like-
Everyone's twins.
And they were like the first set of twins that I met that were black and Nigerian. Then after that, I just kept meeting bare Nigerian twins.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just
That's
thought,
that's why there's so many in Taiwan kingdoms.
no, but that's what I'm saying. It was because of them that I realized if someone's called
Yeah.
Taiwo or Kenny, it means
Because they're twins,
It's,
yeah.
a twin, it's a twin thing, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, what?
So when you hear Taiwo and Akende, Kenny, that's the twin names. That's the name you give twins
Yeah.
culturally.
So all the twins got the same name?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Ghana,
Obviously, you can get like a
Ghanaians,
little James and John afterwards, but
Yeah.
but like like your traditional name or
Yeah.
like your house name or whatever.
yeah, that's your first name.
Yeah.
So everybody in this place has got the same name?
Well, if you're Ghanaian,
Yeah.
then you're all born.
Oh my God, they would have.
all have the
Yeah.
same names.
Yeah, in that village, they actually will have the same name.
Yeah, everyone's called Taiwo. Everyone's called.
But you have another name, like you have other names to kind of differentiate it. But everyone will
Must
have
have
that
never
name.
met a Nigerian twin in my life.
Really?
You never met a Taiwo? Or a
They
Kenny,
change their
Kende?
names, you know. Like, they westernize it.
So Thai.
Yes. And
Do you
Kelly.
mean Tayo
Ty-
Cruz is?
Kelly.
Kenny,
Yes.
yeah. A lot of people call Kenny. I think their original was Kenny.
Kenny
right?
All-Star twin?
You know, I don't know. Is he Nigerian?
Where's he from?
Mm.
I don't know.
To be fair, I thought it was
be.
Caribbean, that's what I tell you.
Yeah, I ain't never met a Nigerian twin then.
No, there's
Well.
loads of them, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't think I know any.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Also, just wanted to mention quickly.
Are we doing this for the other countries as well?
No. It's Nigeria Day today.
There's Guinea Day today, funny enough.
Yeah, speak up with Guinea, of course, 100%. But did you know, Nigeria had, at one time, the largest earthwork, man-made structure in the world. So basically, Benin, right? Edo, right? They had basically something called the Walls of Benin.
Okay.
Right? That was meant to be at its height 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
Damn.
In
Who
Nigeria.
broke it down?
Huh?
Who broke it?
Oh, the white people must have come there and did some stuff.
Of course.
But yeah, man, the world's largest man-made structure. And also, last thing, Nigeria has one of the world's largest diversities of butterflies.
I ain't never seen a butterfly. in
Never
that
seen
country.
one ever in Nigeria.
I lived there 13 years. I never saw a butterfly. Not one. I didn't even know they existed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I wonder who did that survey and where that statistic, that fact is from.
It must be true though, man. Certain places.
I've never seen one though.
I don't know.
When was the last time you see a butterfly over here?
Someone on like Thursday or Friday,
You're not lying.
What are you
for
doing?
real.
That's
Yeah,
so
for
convenient.
real. Yeah.
Where?
Someone at the station.
There's a moth.
No,
Definitely a
butterfly.
moth.
It
Oh
was a
my
butterfly.
gosh!
It was red.
Speaking of moths, there's one girl on TikTok who collects them.
What,
To
moths?
do what with?
So basically, no.
They're
so
ugly
she-
as well,
No, hold on. She
Like
found
mini bats?
but these are like, when I say giant moths, like they're the size of like my hand.
No.
It's the video.
So that's not bad.
The video is bizarre, but then you watch, basically you see it kind of grow, and then it has babies, and then they hatch, and it's
They become butterflies.
yeah, but it's the creepiest video ever. But like, she's now like a moth mum.
Do they become
Moths
ugly?
become butterflies.
Let me see if I can find the video. My sister sent it to me.
The moths don't become butterfly.
No, but they
Butterflies.
become pretty. They're like pretty moths. When I say they become pretty, it's
They
like
glow up.
they don't look like them horrible
Dirty
moths that we
moths.
kill.
Yeah.
Sorry, but them
Sugar
ones that
woman.
look like paper, they just squash really easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't even try to fight.
No, but
back.
they're really big and like
Really?
colourful and
Oh,
they're
really?
not butterflies, but
But they're really pretty.
it's scary though. Let me
That's
find
interesting. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
Yes, and just to kind of in fact, just a few notable. See, this is the thing. Yeah, there's like 20 million notable
Here
Nigerians.
we go.
We're the most influential country in the world. 100%. We have to be. Or do you disagree?
The hell is that?
Do you know, I don't want to be biased. 'cause
Giant
it's not even our
She ain't in
no,
England,
but
is she?
Independence Day.
But like,
We are lit people though.
There's
Nigerians
so
are a
many
good time.
people.
If you've got Nigerians in your life, and I've met people from all walks of life, like Japanese people from everywhere, Vietnamese people, and they all know a Nigerian, and they all talk about how
100%.
great this Nigerian is in their life.
in like every area of life.
It's-
Like
it's
obviously,
fantastic.
obviously the music we already know. You know what I'm saying? Old school fella and them guys. New school Wizkid, Burner, Davido, all of them. Hakeem Olajuwon, basketball player, legend, Yoruba man.
Look at his face. I'm sorry. He is so engrossed in this video.
I don't know why you showed me this.
The richest man in Africa, Dangote.
Dangote.
Nigerian man. Obviously,
Dangote,
Chinua Achebe.
Dangote.
Things Fall Apart. There you go. Things Fall Apart. Writer, author. Wale Soyinka as well. Kanu, Arsenal. Did you guys know that Adebayo Ogunlesi owns... Gotta be
Why are
careful.
they so big?
No,
Huge, isn't it?
that's lit.
Crazy.
That is
So yeah,
lit.
man, there's just so many different people. So big up all the Nigerians, of course.
Big up Nigerians.
And big up Guinea once again. For those who don't know, they're a French-speaking country. They gained independence in 1958. Big up the legendary Sekou Touré.
It's you're just not clocking his facial expression. Sorry,
what's he reading?
it's so hilarious.
What's
The
her name?
moths.
Oh, the moths.
Yeah.
What is this woman doing?
Is she white?
No,
Black.
she's acting white.
Okay.
Mark. It's Black History Month. Come on.
I'm just telling you what she's doing.
But yeah, man.
She's crazy.
That's pretty much it, man. Like I was saying, Guinea, they have a place called Mount Nimba Strict Nature Reserve, and basically it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is located on the border of Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, and Liberia. It's renowned for its exceptional biodiversity, including unique plant and animal species found around that particular region. Obviously, like I mentioned, French is the official language of Guinea. Sekou Touré was the first president of Guinea. He's a legendary guy. For those you don't know, you know Stokely Carmichael. Basically, I didn't know this, by the way, Brent. I'm not sure if you know. Stokely Carmichael was Trinidadian.
Carmichael, yeah.
I had no idea. But yeah, anyway, he changed his name to Kwame Touré. The Touré part of his name was from this particular president. Obviously, the Kwame is from Kwame Nkrumah. But yeah, Sekou Touré. So yeah, man, big up Guinea, big up Cameroon, big up Nigeria. And that's pretty
Love
much
that,
it.
man. Love it, love it. Let's get into our headlines.
All right, people. So our first headline, Rishi Sunak is back in the news, man. And he's speaking to the BBC, and he said that he wants to cut taxes, but he declined to say whether he would before the next general election. His comments came after Cabinet Minister Michael Gove told Sky News that he wanted to cut taxes before an election, but instead Mr. Sunak said that his priority was curbing inflation and easing living costs. Tax and HS2, both things that we kind of spoke about last week, are causing unrest in the party as members gather in Manchester for their annual conference. Tax levels in the UK are at their highest since record began 70 years ago and are unlikely to come down soon. The former Prime Minister, Liz Truss, I don't know why anyone listened to her, but respectfully, her and her allies are among Tory MPs who have called for tax cuts. But the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, who will set out his economic plans in his autumn statement in November, said last week that tax cuts were virtually impossible at present. Mr. Sunak, at his first conference as party leader, said that as a Conservative, he wanted to cut taxes, but gave no detail on when he would do so. Next headline, the NHS will be the Tories' Achilles heel at the next election. This is what ministers have been warned in a new report by the former government special advisor on health. Richard Sloggett said that the Tories' standing have been badly undermined by their failure to deliver on most of the pledges to improve the NHS that they made at the 2019 general election. So he said in a report for his Future Health think tank that the NHS is back as the Conservatives' electoral Achilles heel. The inability to deliver on health promises in the 2019 manifesto and deteriorating access to care mean the NHS is back once again as the issue of greatest threat to Conservative prospects at the next election. Sloggett was a policy advisor to the then Health Secretary Matt Hancock at the Department of Health and Social Care in 2018 to 2019, and before that he worked at Policy Exchange, which is a right of centre think tank. And the last headline, Priti Patel, back in the news, man. And she basically come out and said that Suella Braverman's claim that multiculturalism has failed may have just been said to get attention. So she feels like Suella Braverman kind of went too far.
Getting attention this way is a way to talk about someone else getting attention.
But who knows, man. But yeah, the current Home Secretary, for those you don't know, has faced a raft of criticism since making a comment earlier this week or last week as part of a wider speech demanding an overhaul of the international asylum system. But Priti Patel said that the UK should be proud of the dynamic communities in the UK, and making such interventions were not a substitute for delivery on government policies. Speaking to Sky News Sunday morning with Trevor Phillips, the former cabinet minister said that Ms. Braverman's speech was very much about making interventions, but that is not a substitute for delivery around changes to policy and government. Now, I don't know what the intervention was around that, whether it be to get attention or to have the dividing line as we run up to the general election. This side of the general election, if I may politely suggest, it's about delivery, and the government will be judged on delivery. If you make the pledges, statements and promises, you have to deliver. Pledges are no substitute for action, and I think the public are sick of hearing about some of these issues and the failure to deliver. And I think it's right everyone puts a shoulder to the wheel, cracks on and delivers. And that's what Priti Patel had to say about it, man. And that's it for the headlines.
Nice. Let's get into what you're saying topic of the day.
All right, people. Did I start too early? Anyway.
Tiny bit, yeah.
All right, people. As we kind of, said earlier, this is Black History Month, innit? But I did, if you lot don't mind, the listeners and you guys in the room. You mind? Okay, cool. Well, you can take over if you want.
I'm joking.
I'm joking.
I don't mind for 20 minutes. to this.
But all I was going to do is basically just kind of give like a brief history of like Black History Month and stuff, yeah? Because I feel like as much as we're told this is Black History Month, well, me personally, like I've never come across any time in any institution, school, whatever, where they've told me about the history. You know what I'm saying?
So, in February.
Yes, exactly. That's where it started.
In America,
yeah. So it did start with the great Carter G. Woodson, right? Who was actually a son of former slaves, and he was an American historian, author, and all that type of stuff. He was one of the first people to scholars to study the history of the African diaspora, including African American history and all that as well, right? He got his bachelor's and master's degree at the University of Chicago. Then he went to Harvard, and he became the second second African American person to ever get a doctorate in Harvard. This is after the great W.E.B. Du Bois, right? So anyway, he had this whole passion about trying to get black people in America, who obviously have been robbed of their history, of their knowledge of self, right, to know something about self. Where did they come from? Because if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going, right? That was the thinking behind it. And so that's when he introduced the first Negro History Week, like you rightly said, in February. Why was it in February? Because Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, their birthdays, well, Frederick Douglass, he was a former slave in it, but he celebrated his birthday. He didn't really know when his birthday was, but he celebrated his birthday in February. And because Abraham Lincoln was seen as kind of like a abolitionist, even though he fully wasn't, but anyway, he kind of made it February because of those guys. Fast forward now, and we get to the UK, where a Ghanaian by the name of Mr. Adai Sebo, right? He wanted to bring that same concept to the UK. And there's an interesting article in The Guardian, right? Where he kind of talks about how it actually came to be, right? And basically what he says was, there was one morning, basically late in 1985, he walked into work, had a casual conversation with a colleague, right?
1985?
1985, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the first one, like we're talking about, like in America, that was back in, when was this? 1926. Yeah. 1926. And then from the 1940s, they tried to expand it from a week to an actual month, right? But that was only in America. But in 1985, in the UK, this is when this man, Achaba Adai Sebo, then he was at 35 years old. He was working at the Greater London Council, the GLC, and he had a conversation with somebody, right? Someone in his workplace, and he asked her, basically, he said, I think her name was Elizabeth, yeah, what's wrong, yeah? And she said, last night, I was putting my son Marcus to bed, and he asked, why can't I be white? So this is what this woman he's speaking to said, right? And basically, she told him the story, she was crying, and all this type of stuff, and she actually said, I named my son Marcus because of Marcus Garvey. This is how pro-black she was. And to hear her son say, why can't I be white? It just crushed her, you know what I'm saying? And then she was like, look, I failed my son. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, no, you haven't failed your son. The national curriculum failed your son. The local authorities, the churches, the institutions, they failed your son. And not only your son, but they failed all children growing up in this country. And that's, long story short, what made him say, you know what? I want to try and implement something similar to what they have in America and make it an official thing here in the UK. And when he was starting to do that, he had some speakers come through from America. So he had the likes of Angela Davis, you know what I'm saying, Black Panthers and that, Winnie Mandela, Jesse Jackson, Marcus Garvey Jr., Ray Charles, serious people come over where it was like, wait a minute, this is actually something real and tangible here, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, that's when he kind of codified everything and kind of drafted up some sort of structure to it to then present and be like, look, let's establish this in the UK. So that's how we basically got Black History Month, man. So big up him. And so, in 2023, the question is, do you feel like we take it for granted? That's the question. Do you feel like we take it for granted? Do you feel like when it comes round, every year, we're kind of happy that it's here. We're happy that we've got this particular thing, but do we actually utilize it? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. If I didn't come in here today, I didn't know. I wouldn't even know it was Black History Month.
Why do you think that is? Do you feel that's because Black people ourselves, we don't make a big deal about it? Or do you feel like the institutions are still just kind of just doing the bare minimum?
I don't care about Black History Month.
Okay. But why is that though? Why do you think that is?
Because I like history. I'm aware of things. Like I'm always looking and researching and stuff like that. I don't need to wait for it to get to October to highlight Black history. So it doesn't really mean anything to me.
Okay. We're going to come back to that. Gina, Esther? Brent? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like, I get Marx's sentiment. I feel like Black history should be celebrated all year round because things done by Black people and stuff like that is used all year round. So I feel like Black History Month just feels like a token thing of like, okay, here you go, we'll do it, and then like we see a lot of brands, organizations, society make a big deal about it, and then the rest of the year they mistreat Black people. So I don't really check for it either because it just feels like something. It just feels like fake. So yeah.
Do you feel like it matters though if their heart is in the right place or not? Do you feel like maybe the main focus should just be that at least we're getting some information for our kids in the schools, maybe the churches, the workplaces are putting up more posters, you know what I mean, putting out more
But
materials
it feels,
to kind of edify
what's
us.
the word I'm trying to
Performative.
find? Performative, that's the word.
Does that matter, though?
Yeah, to me it does.
Okay.
Because again, all through the years, you find throughout the year, the other 11 months, you find a way to use and abuse black people, to use and abuse their ideas, to steal from them and all that kind of stuff. But in this 1 month, you do these performative things because really and truly behind that as well anyway, there isn't really intention. Even sometimes the way brands move and stuff, they're not really getting the right people. They haven't done their research if you want someone to do something or promote something or speak about something, they just pick that first person that popped into their head. Not that the person actually is doing work in that industry. Like black people exist throughout the year. Black people do amazing things throughout the year. The society, the world at large, enjoys the fruit of black labor throughout the year. Why is that 1 month? Even if you're going to do for the 1 month, at least be real about it. But again, it's just you doing something so it appears that you're doing something and it's just performative.
Okay, Brent. Yeah, go on.
I really liked it when I was younger, because I guess in school they organized trips to little museums and like bakeries and stuff. As I grew older, I guess I realized the veneer, but I still appreciate it because it's forced onto young people and white people who may not even understand why it's important or why it was important in the first place, right? This month, you get a lot of education. Yes, you have to kind of opt in. You have to be proactive, actually seeking out like tours and stuff. For example, Daryl does a tour in it. Is it Daryl?
Yes.
And now that I'm following him, I'm seeing like he's doing his stuff in it. I would have never have known that if it is that I hadn't heard him on the show and then looked to find out what his tour was actually about. So I like the fact that unassuming people could actually learn something this month. I actually like the fact that companies have to like put money forward, even if it's they feel it's an obligation. Good. Because during the year, they wouldn't want to do it. So yes, do it now. Care less if it's performative. Do we, as black people, take it seriously? I don't know. I don't know if I care that we do or not.
Okay.
I don't know if I care if we do or we don't. Obviously, what we are planning to do is to make sure that it's an all year round thing, but it's just talking and just words until it is you actually see what it looks like.
You think white people get educated in Black History Month?
Some people.
The ones that I want to?
Yeah, that's what I said. You have to opt in.
Yeah, so they would have been that way inclined from before October.
Maybe.
So it's not really...
Sometimes you get a few that are converted during this month.
What, by
Just a handful.
By jerk-flavoured crisp?
I don't know what that means. I've never eaten that. I don't know if it's
so
that.
silly.
No, because you talk about October, they're going to learn stuff from it and these brands and all that. They just do like stupid promotions, like the World Food Aisle in Tesco might be a bit bigger or something like that. Or we're doing jerk-flavoured Walkers this month.
But then,
Foolishness. What are they learning?
But then I feel like at work, like no, because you might have never even tasted Caribbean food before in your life, right? And then it's like National World Bring and Share Day at work, and they've done that on purpose. And they get all the black staff to bring cuisines from their countries and their ethnicities. And then someone might be like, oh, you know what? I've actually never tried this. Let me try it. And they actually like it. And then that's them, I guess, their way into the culture. Do you get what I mean? I'm not saying that it's life changing, but I'm not
in the stuff from. Oh yeah, you like ain't half bad, isn't it?
No, but I'm not dismissing. I'm not,
Yeah, black lives
I'm
do
not
matter,
dismissing.
actually.
I'm not
Isn't it?
dismissing
Actually,
either.
when you think
Do you get what
about
I
it, there's
mean?
something to be said about BLM.
I feel like with a lot of stuff though, yeah, there's always going to be a handful of people who it actually does make an impact. And to be honest, even if it's one or two people, it's like if it's impacted those one or two people, then it's not really going in vain.
Do you know what it is though?
I do think it's performative though.
I think for me, yeah, what it is that because even at work, like sometimes like, oh, do you want to like join the committee for the Black History? I'm like, no, because for me, yeah, like I don't see why I am going out of my way to teach you about my culture. like, what are the benefits of that? Like, I hear that, you know, 1 or 2 people might, like, you know, learn more and stuff like that. But personally, I don't care about somebody learn about black culture or knowing that jollof rice and jerk is nice or something like I don't care, because again, it's so performative to me that I don't see why I'm having to sell you on black issues. And that's how I see it as. Do you get me? When all these establishments and whatever places are like, oh, let's come and teach people. I don't understand why I should put something together to get you on board of Black Matters. It's silly, because you're gonna turn away from here anyway and try and touch my hair anyway. You're not really gonna learn much. And I think I've always said anyway, I don't take on that responsibility of teaching white people how not to be racist or why it's wrong to be racist. It's either in you or it's not in you. I just don't. I don't care enough to teach people about Black history and stuff like that. They don't care, because when people want to learn how to make things or learn about cultures and learn whatever it is, they know. When they want to go to Vietnam and go to China, Japan and stuff like that and see that culture, they know how to Google, they know how to learn about the food, they know how to do all of that stuff. But when it comes to black people, we have to be the ones to come and sell it. I'm sorry, I don't have that in me to be selling my culture to people.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Morning, caller.
Good morning, caller.
Call in again, please. I have to engage it.
But yeah, man.
Can I ask before the caller comes back here? I hear what you guys are saying and 100% agree. Remember, if you look at the beginning of the story, right? Remember what he was saying? That he felt as though that black woman had failed, or she felt it, that she had failed her son, right? So these are black people who don't know enough about themselves. Do you feel like some of the focus should be taken away from how we can educate white people about us and rather focus on us learning about us? We'll come back to that. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning. I've just tuned in, so I don't know if I've missed any discussions, but I don't really agree with Black History Month being taught. But if it is being taught, let me be the one that teaches it. So as a teacher, the kids, I used to teach in a white Bermondsey. So Bermondseys typically white, the Millwall fans people, and then there's infiltration of black kids from different areas out the outskirts of Bermondsey that would then come into the school. And some of the kids, because I was cool with them, they'll just be honest, like, why have we got Black History Month? Why? They were quite racist in their thoughts, but then I would then educate them. But they made sense. Why is it Black History Month when there isn't any other history month? But then if we are going to teach it, I would rather teach you about the black excellence rather than Rosa Parks and the oppression. So my daughter came home a few years ago. It's like, oh, brown people weren't allowed to sit on the bus. We're brown. We weren't allowed to sit on the bus. So the narrative is of an oppressive. I don't know if you saw the Sona School of. I can't remember. There was a poster that was flying around yesterday. It was really good. A poem that was like, we don't have to always share the slavery and the tragic or the traumatic moments of Black history. We can introduce other parts of it. So once I find that with not white, but the curriculum, I'm talking about education in particular, the curriculum is always geared towards the civil rights movement, if that, or slavery, the transatlantic slavery mostly. And it's always geared towards the Black American history of oppression and fighting, rather than sharing our successes, sharing our triumphs, introducing all the other things that we are known for rather than trauma. And the danger in that is when white people hear that, especially kids, they'll see us as, oh, you guys are lucky to be here, aren't you? Your ancestors really suffered, rather than hearing that my ancestors were kings and queens. If that makes sense. So if you're going to teach it, let me be the one to tell my story, especially to an outsider, because this might be the only time they hear about Black history. Like, yeah, I know about you guys. You guys, you suffered. You've done really well to come where you are now today, haven't you? In that way. But whereas I'm now going to assemblies in my daughter's school and I teach them about the Ghanaian traditional wedding, teach them about Ghanaian traditional naming ceremony. So the white kids, not even the black kids, because the black kids are always going to see that anyway, but then the white kids have left with a positive image of blackness. They're not remembering Rosa Parks sitting at the back of the bus now, where, you're lucky to be here because we can all get on the bus at the same time and sit in the same place. So if it's going to be told, we should tell it, and we should, especially in schools, if there are any parents listening, be active in your child's school so then they are telling the story you want them to tell.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me.
So we shouldn't let the white descendants know about their forefathers and foremothers?
No, because they won't tell it in that angle. They're not going to tell it in that lens. They can tell it in you were oppressed. They're not going to tell who the oppressor was. They're not going to make the kids won't leave feeling bad and guilty and feeling like, wow, my people were bad. They'll feel the opposite, like, wow, you guys really struggled and you've done well to be here. So the narrative is never we were bad. The narrative is you were oppressed. They will forget who the oppressor was. They're not going to say that this land, the UK, is built on slavery and people's blood. They're not going to ever tell you that. They're never going to say that part of the story.
But shouldn't we also like correct their white history that they are taught?
If I've got time, let me tell you about my greatness.
But
I don't have time to
I'm
keep
talking
telling you about whether you're bad.
They were colonizers.
Yeah, but that's part of their history, but they're choosing to opt out of that. But if you're going to tell my history, why do you always tell the worst parts? They're never going to paint themselves in a bad light. They're never gonna do that. They're gonna tell you about Tudor history and King Henry VIII. They're never gonna tell you about any of the wars they fought outside. The one you would hear is World War I and World War II. You're not gonna hear about all the colonial wars, the colonial overtakes, and how this country's built on that. They're not gonna tell their kids that. But it's not my job to tell their kids that. But if you're gonna hear my story, hear the triumphs. So the transatlantic slavery is a portion of our history, not that it should be forgotten, but you can't always tell that side. The Jews can do that because they're now great and people have a positive light in them. So they can talk about the Holocaust and people, they're never synonymous with the Holocaust. When you think of Jewish people, you think of positive images, you think of wealth, you think of whether it's even a negative side of the positive image of greed or whatever, it's still a positive light of them. But we're always subjugated to a dark history and a dark past and even a dark present. So some I've taught in schools and they're like, oh, that's what, it makes sense why you guys are like that, because you've had a tumultuous history. Your whole life is of tragedy, of pain, of struggle. That's not true.
Isn't that a danger of having those white children grow up to not understand the superiority complex?
Is that not a danger? That's yeah.
Because they wouldn't know about them being.
But if you knew we were equal, but if you thought we were equal, you wouldn't have a superiority complex. If we all taught our history, if you heard my history as a good one, if I keep telling you that I'm from royalty, you won't look down on me. You'll think this is a downgrade coming to England. If I always tell you that the Ashanti kings and queens have great wealth, you'd see me in a positive light. But if you always see me as, wow, you guys suffered, you were oppressed, you fought really hard to just have normal basic living, you would have a superiority complex naturally.
Do you really feel as though...
But if you were taught that we were...
I just want to say, do you really feel as though if we were to kind of talk about us being kings and queens, or at least coming from there, right, white people really care and like it will change how they speak to us and treat us? Or do you feel
but the next generation would not think that... I think it would change the next generation's perception. So I'm speaking based on my daughter's generation, and the ones that have grown, we're grown. Our generation are what they are. They're not going to change. But the ones coming, we've got to equalize the playing field with them, knowing that coming to the UK was not doing us a favor. And sometimes they feel like that. I've heard of parents when they were talking about food with their children say, "Oh, make sure you eat because kids in Africa are starving." I was like, in past 2017, you're still saying those things. Why does she think that? Because that's what she's been told. She's never been to Africa.
But you know what? Yeah.
But if she heard that Africans were great. So if she heard that Africans were great, that would just be a snippet of what Africa is. Then she'll know that there are poor parts of Africa, there are rich parts of Africa, because I've heard that you guys were great people. You guys were inventors. You guys did so many things. I've heard about your history. The same way we've heard about Jewish history. Holocaust is not the beginning of Jewish history. We hear about them through the Bible. Even if you're not a Christian, you know about them. You might disagree, but you think, or people think that they're the chosen nation from God. So the Holocaust is a snippet of their life because they've got other histories to tell. But you can't always talk about the civil rights movement with my child. and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and the First Amendment or whatever. Like it's not even majority of Black history.
Do you know the thing is though? Yeah, with the Holocaust, yeah, I feel as though from when it happened, respectfully, from when it happened, they was telling people about it. I don't think they ever waited and said, you know what, let's get to an elevated position first and then we'll tell people about it. They wanted the sympathy of the world. You know what I'm saying? So because nothing's changed as it pertains to that particular narrative, you know. From when it happened, from when the people died and from when people were displaced, all from since then, from the 40s, right? Everyone's heard about the story. I don't think ever have they ever said, you know what, we don't want to tell you guys about Holocaust. They didn't wait for them till they got into, you know, positions of power. They didn't wait for that. And also, what I was going to say to you is, I'm not too sure that people would care if I told them, or we told them as Black people, oh yeah, we came from royalty, this, that, and the third. I don't think it means anything to anybody. A lot of the time, people look at how you are now. If you go to a particular primary school or a particular secondary school and Black people come into those schools, again, I'm not trying to, you know, be some type of way, but if people are seeing Black people in those schools behaving in some type of way, they're not going to believe you come from a king or queen.
No, but
they're not going to see if they see your parents. If
They'll believe that you've fallen. They'll think that you've fallen.
It's always civil rights, slavery, what. Like, you don't know nothing else. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So if you get taught different things, it's gonna make you have a different perception.
That's the point I'm getting to. But I'm basically saying, yeah, it needs to be taught to us. Because then we will internalize it and change. Then demand respect. Well, but if you're telling them...
No, I think it's like everybody, because it's like what she's saying. Like, like Black people... I've said it on here before. Like, people act like Black history started in the Atlantic slave trade.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So when white people are saying that, they don't know nothing about Black people, just that user was down here. You get me? User was down bad. And they're not even telling the reasons why. They're not saying it's because white people put these things in place. They're just making out like this is what it was and this is how it is.
So don't even tell the history in the first place.
They've been bombarded with that their whole life. You instantly, even if you're not even like racist or nothing like that, you put Black people below you because as far as you're concerned, this is just the way it's always been. Yeah. So that's for white people too. That's not a good thing. Why don't they teach about like the Haitian Revolution?
100%. Like, we're going to teach about that this month though.
Is it, yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, you say you know about Tottenham, man, yeah?
What? And Dessalines and Christophe. What?
But this is what I'm trying to say. I had to learn that stuff for myself. Nobody taught me that.
Exactly.
So even back with Black people or white people, the narrative and the message that's being pushed at every single Black History Month, I'm over this shit. I don't need to hear this shit no more. I don't want to know about none of this shit that they're telling me or whatever. There's no information that they can give me that's helping me. Change the narrative now. Give me some stuff that I don't know. Let me know about affluent Black people. Let me know about the inventors. Let me know about the times when we was king and queens. This is what's going to help, and not just ourselves.
Let me know about
white
Black
people
Wall
too.
Street.
I hear you, but you know it is. I think maybe the only difference is, I agree with you guys. I feel like the narrative definitely needs to change, or it needs to be added with the other stuff. Because like Brent's saying, these people need to recognize who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
they're not delivering the news like that though, as the villains though.
Yeah, but like the caller's saying,
yes.
If I do it, then it's different, because so we can, as the teachers, tell the students how it needs to be done. So if we're doing it, telling them that, you know, what we tell them already, plus the successes, all those brilliant things, right? Then at least things will change. But I think for me, I'm not the most optimistic about the oppressor changing. I don't care about them. I care about us.
That's why
so when things
have
change,
to go in. That's why we have to go in, Emmanuel.
So what, do you believe that you can tell something to these people that have been doing this for 500 years?
Yes.
You do?
Because I've changed the narrative of my child's year group. They associate Black History Month with, I've taught them what day they were born. So their homework was, Google what day you were born, and that's your tree name if you want. And this is how we name our kids. And all these other little things, that is their memory. It's not of Rosa Parks. I've erased the memory of brown people sitting in the back of the bus because of my lessons. I've taught them. I'm not trying to change.
You can't be doing that.
What'd you say?
You can't be doing that.
No, sorry, no, you don't understand. I'm saying that
Black people say that, but
in terms of the traumatic, my daughter came home like, wow, we weren't allowed to sit on the back of the bus. Who's we? They, like Black Americans at that time, but Chloe, you're not, my daughter's there, you're not Black American, you're Ghanaian. But do you understand? So you're Ghanaian.
No, don't do that.
But Jackie,
You're not Black American. No, that's not. That's not our history. That's a part of our history. And I said you can empathize. So we're watching Blackish and they're talking about Juneteenth. It's like me celebrating Nigerian Independence Day yesterday. I'm not Nigerian, but I stand in solidarity with Nigerians. But I'm not Nigerian. But I love Nigerians, and they're black, they're African, they're the giants of Africa. But my daughter, we're not Nigerian, but we can still do that. Juneteenth, we're not Black American, but this is what Juneteenth means. Me celebrating it doesn't mean that I am one. So if I'm adjacent to your struggle, doesn't mean that I should be part of the struggle. But I should also know about my history as well. There's wars in Ashanti land that happen, but it was for me to then teach my daughter, not about the civil rights. Someone else can teach her. But I'm saying I would rather teach about triumph than trauma. If you're not going to teach trauma in the right way, let me not teach it to you in the first place, because you're never going to teach the non-black kids the trauma in terms of the villain. You're not going to tell them who oppressed the oppressors, who oppressed the people, the oppressed. You're not. Because if you told that story, people have a narrative.
But can you teach it in the correct way, though?
I can, but I have to teach it in a way that I also don't make my daughter hate the current Europeans. I have to be very cognizant of it. So if anyone's been to Ghana and the slave trade, Elmina's castle, you come out hating white people for that moment. You come out with severe anger for white people. But I have to then, she's so young that I have to tune her mind to say, no, that was their past. This is not their present. But they have the wealth that you see here compared to Ghana, for example, is because of what they've done in the past. But you can't hold your European friends to that. Do you get what I'm saying? But I'm very aware that I have that power. The European person might just say, oh, they were slaves back in the days, and that's it. They're not going to say anything else. But what I'm saying is, if I've got 20 minutes in a school, I'm not going to teach about trauma. I'm going to teach about Black Wall Street. I'm going to teach about the Yoruba tradition. I'm going to teach about their spirituality. I'm not going to teach about that, because there's so much of our history. Why must we always talk about that part?
Jackie, you know what the thing is?
And not about our inventions.
I hear what you're saying. I think this is the difficulty as well, because Africa is basically, it's the cradle of civilization, right? Like anything that's pivotal in history, we had some part to play, right? So it's like there's so many different things you can talk about, right? But I think like Brent's pretty much saying, if you remove some of those horrible things, right, there's a danger that some of this can be repeated. Because what will happen is, we will go out there acting as though everyone's our friend. We don't have friends. No. And I think it's very important to remember.
That's not, no.
Huh? You said no?
No, because absolutely not. It's like me always presenting the best of my house. You're gonna judge me better. You're gonna see if you always come to my house and my house is always clean and tidy, the day you come to my house is not tidy, you'll think, oh, that's unlike Jackie, isn't it? Because the house isn't nice as it usually is, because I've painted a different narrative to you. So as Margs was saying, if I paint a positive narrative of Black people, when you see us downtrodden today, you'll know that that's not us. But when you see us downtrodden today, they're like, you guys are always doing this. You're always struggling, aren't you? Whether it's Africa you're in, America you're in, England, you're always fighting. And that's the narrative, because that's what it looks like from our past. Because you've only chosen that, you've chosen to zoom into that part of our history. Why don't you give equal weight into everything?
I see, but this is what you're saying. Like, I'm agreeing. I think we should definitely put more of the positive stuff, especially the triumphs. So again, but from what you're saying, you would even take out the stuff that Nat Turner did, that the Haitian Revolution. You would take out those things. Why would we ever take out stuff like that, right? When we won, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is,
no, I wouldn't with that one.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm going to speak to a school, I can't. They're not going to allow me back if I always speak about. If I give two sides of the narrative with the villain and the oppressed, they're not going to allow me back because they don't want that part of history said. So guess what? Let me just talk about my triumphs.
It makes him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's actually, you want to give the watered down version?
Because they wouldn't let me in. They wouldn't let me in. So therefore, let me not give you that at all.
This is
let me not give you the diluted version at all.
But Jackie, this is like, don't get me wrong. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But all of this speaks to about trying to appeal to white people, like trying to appeal to and integrate with people who don't want us here. Every law, right, is about subjugating us further. Me
But we're
personally, in the regular schools that we go to, no disrespect, but the regular white person in the regular schools that they attend are not the ones who are going to be changing things in the future. You know what I'm saying? And again, also remember, when I just don't see what anyone's
They're
seeing
the ones
now.
your child is going to be playing with. They're the ones your child's going to be playing with.
What does that mean? Like, to me, the only thing that matters is my child knows who she is and who he is. That's what matters to me. So that if you come with nonsense, she or he can tell you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? My focus isn't kind of like what Esther was saying. My focus is not to educate white people. Remember the book? I'm done talking to white people about race. Why? Because there's no change.
No, but
Every single day
I'm talking about young
to...
children who are being educated. I'm talking about young children who are being educated. I'm not referring to adults. I'm referring to young people who are being educated on a daily basis.
Yes.
They're being educated about history. They've been educated about the world. The world has been introduced to them. Let me show you the positive of blackness. And I can introduce slavery to you later, but let me let you know that we were kings and queens. And then I can show you one part of our history that was bad. That's your part. That's also your history. Mm-hmm. Let's share our history together. Let's do that history lesson. That's a mutualistic history lesson because both of us were involved. But the same way you introduced King Henry VIII to them, let me introduce you about the Ashanti royalty.
I mean,
why not?
What the thing is,
because you're not introducing young kids are not learning World War I in primary school, but they're learning King Henry VIII. So why at Black History Month am I going to choose to talk about my war, our war? Let me talk about our kings and queens as well then.
There's nothing wrong with that though, Jackie.
Primary school, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Let me teach you about something. I'm not saying you shouldn't teach it, but if you're going to share light and if you're going to do if you're going to do 10, so apportion the right proportion to it. So a portion, that's a part of our history. We're thousands of years old. And you're talking about something that happened 300-400 years ago, which is not, we shouldn't deny it. But nonetheless, there are other parts. No one's going to talk about the Haitian Revolution. No one's going to talk about that.
But why?
I can.
Okay, you know what the thing is? You know what the thing is, right? My thing is this, and we do have to wrap up here. But the what I'm basically saying is, I agree with what you're saying. I definitely believe we need to put more focus on the positive stuff, right? But I think it's very important, again, to learn from other people who've gone through certain things. Everyone kind of holds the Jews to a certain thing. Their main thing is, we must not forget. There's a reason why they're in positions of power. They don't trust anybody.
We must not forget.
Huh? What?
But the narrative of Jews is not the Holocaust. The narrative of Jews, when you talk about a Jew person, it's named 3 characteristics: rich, wealthy, they keep their money in their family, in the Jewish community. The Holocaust is part of them, but not the main narrative.
What do you think they're saying when they say we must not forget? What do you think they're talking about?
Who's the we? The
Jews. When the Jews say that we, themselves, must not forget, what do you think they're talking about?
So the we must not forget is we the Jews must not forget. But we're going to tell you our history, but that's not our main job when we're spreading our light outside.
Wait. Jackie,
that's within the community.
What I'm saying to you is, when the Jews, like you said, the we and the Jews in the thing, we must not forget. Who are they talking about? What are they talking about? They're saying themselves must not forget. The
Jews must not forget the Holocaust.
This is what I'm saying to you.
The Jews must not forget the oppression.
This is what I'm saying to you.
And that they're always oppressed. The Jews. So they teach it within. But I'm talking about the lessons without. So I'm talking about when we go out.
Remember, Jackie, right?
So it doesn't happen again.
Huh?
So it doesn't get repeated.
So it doesn't happen again. But you're talking about, I don't want to tell them about Rosa Parks in the bus. I don't want to tell them about this, that, and the third. I don't want to tell them about the Haitian Revolution. All these things are necessary. The Jewish people are never, ever under any type of confusion about who could be a potential oppressor, a potential threat.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We are forgetting stuff. This is why things happen every 5 to 10 years. There's a new thing reminding you people that, wait a minute, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And don't get me wrong, I understand what you're saying. I definitely believe and agree with what you're saying. We definitely need to put in more positive things. I 100% agree. We have to hit it from different angles. But it's very, very dangerous for us to act as though the atrocities of the past are things we need to forget or not shed enough light on, because this is how they get us. They make us feel that we're secure here. We're the same as them, the same citizens. The 14th Amendment was way back in the day. Look at how many hoops the black people had to jump through. Today, they're still jumping. Still in 2023, black president and all.
Why are we jumping their hoops? We're jumping their hoops because we want to be in their
I'm not talking
circles.
about us. I'm not
Whereas
talking
the
about us.
Jewish
You know, I'm talking
community,
about
for
them.
example,
I'm talking about them. I'm not conflating black Brits with black Americans. I'm talking about them. They're still struggling. You see what I'm saying? So I'm simply saying to you, the person, right, the oppressor, we can never forget that. We must never forget that. And like, for example, look at what you said about going to Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle. It's, to me, if I'm taking my daughter, my children there, to hear about the atrocities, I don't care how you feel afterwards. For as long, you need to feel it. You need to remember who did it to you and who did it to your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Because our families were broken apart. They need to know. But again, supplement that with the positives about where we are today. I don't think it's very dangerous for us to kind of forget about those things, because this is how it happens. You know what I'm saying? This is how they repeat
I don't
stuff.
think we ever forget. I think it's the culmination of the good and the bad. But often at times, I'm saying when it's preached to young children, it's always the oppressed. You are oppressed. Black people are oppressed. They're doing well today, but they were doing well yesterday as well. There was a part of their history that they weren't doing well, which has affected us today.
Yeah.
But before that, we were doing very well. So introduce that to the new kids. Introduce that to the new generation. My daughter's friends think she's from royalty because she is. She's not going to think of the slavery first. If she's going to think of back home Ghana, she's going to think of royalty. She's not going to think of the kids that they see on the adverts back in the day that are hungry. So what I'm saying is we must in the narrative. They won't care about our history. So I don't want you to care about my culture. If you're going to come to my house and laugh at my jollof rice, don't come and eat my jollof rice. I'll come to my house and I'll give you duck or lamb. Don't come to my house and say, that smells a bit funny. Is that okra? And you mock it. No.
So when they come to your house, you're going to change what you feed them.
For example, they don't come to my house. No. What I'm saying, I'm just giving you an analogy. If you're going to laugh at that part of my cuisine, for example, this is just an example. I won't give it to you because I don't want you making a mockery of it. Let me give you something else.
I think the difference is if you're going to come and laugh at my food, you won't be invited to my house again. I'm not going to change.
For example, this is just an example.
No, I get what you're saying, but I just feel like we have to remember who we're dealing with here. But again, I agree with what you're saying. We definitely have to add more to it. But also bear in mind that, remember, you're a teacher, but you're also a mum of your daughter who can feed your daughter all this beautiful, positive stuff on a day-to-day.
Which I do.
You know what I'm saying? But if we have only a month, we have to be very selective about what we're saying. But Jackie, we do have to wrap up.
So if you had a month, what would you? Yeah, you got to go. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you for calling.
Say the last thing, Jackie.
Yeah. Say what you want to say.
No, I say if you have a month and you've got young kids, give them the positive, give them the excellence, and then let them go and do the research about something else. But if I've got a month to teach you about, for example, my religion, I'm going to teach you about the positive side of my religion. Later on, when I've got you the foundation, then I'll introduce you to the other things. Then I'll introduce you to the deeper things. But in the beginning, I must spread the light first.
Okay.
First and foremost, the light.
I hear you. I mean, I don't fully disagree with you anyway, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree with you on that as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I also think the fact that is that we have to basically dedicate a month to celebrate or bring awareness is because of the atrocities that happened. So the good intent that Jackie has, Margs, there's still a lot of correction that needs to be done. That's what she said. I think equalizing this particular top heavy, bottom heavy divide. And that's why I hear what she's saying, 100% hear what she's saying, but there needs to be a balance.
Exactly.
It can't be
just
on
that.
extremes. It can't be. Because there is an opportunity. There is a potential for it to be erased completely. And it being erased, 100% it can be repeated because you'll have those who will not forget saying, they've forgotten now. Let's do the scrap again.
Yep. And we also have to remember the dynamics in this country. We're still just 3%. 3%. So we can act as though we're all friends now. Give it 10, 15 years. Somebody will, like Pharaoh, wake up and say, wait a minute. Why are all you people thriving in these areas? I want to be racist again. And there's only 3 to 5% of us. We'll be done out here. You know what I'm saying?
I want to be racist again.
Not for real. Like, you know what I mean? We were talking about the Bible, talking about the importance of these things in the Bible to the Jews and to the world. Look at that same story of Pharaoh. A new Pharaoh came in, right? And he said, wait a minute. Why are the Hebrews thriving like this? I don't like this. And then we got the 400 years of slavery. So we have to balance it like you're saying. But anyway, before we wrap up, if you guys don't mind, and this is kind of like a question to everyone, like in the chat listeners as well. Yeah, what would you want to see implemented into Black History Month that will make you feel as though this is worthwhile? Okay.
Not all at once, folks.
No, do you know what it is? I guess I don't know what that is or what that looks like, because I guess for me, like I said, I feel like it feels very performative. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we gear up towards this one time in the year where we're going to really focus on Black history, and then after that it just kind of fades out. For someone like me, I'm Black, so I feel like my day to day, I'm reminded of Black history. Do you know what I mean? Like I live every day. Like I don't think I do anything different in Black History Month that I do on any other day, and I think a lot of people probably in our community feel the same. Do you get what I mean? So I don't know.
I don't want to play into the bullshit, man. I would like to see different narratives being pushed. I don't want to hear the same stories that I'm hearing all the time. And I'm not saying eradicate them or get rid of them, like we were saying, like, so people forget or nothing like that. I'm just saying, just push it towards different things, man, because people's mentalities ain't going to change if you just keep pushing them narratives in there. And it's not like, it's like even like self-hate, other people. And I know people are saying that, oh, this kings and queens narrative is crap and boring and whatnot. But throughout history, like people put royalty on a pedestal anyway. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, and throughout history, through the things that they teach you, like, man, know about the flipping, like, say like just this country's royal family and stuff like that. Like through history, man can learn, man, know lineage about these people I ain't got no business knowing about. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and you just associate royalty with like whiteness.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that can't be good for the social standing of the world. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know how much importance it is. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, so you know King and Queen. I'm just saying just to change the narrative. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's other histories of the world that they can teach us that we don't know about. So it's like, there's never Black people in positions of power. Like, the famous Black people that we know are always all about struggle. You get me? They was elevated and put on a platform because they was fighting for our rights and all these very, very rare. It's always about struggle. I don't know enough. They don't tell us about Black people that were just up there, just top for nothing, for no reason, and give us history about it. I think those things are important.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, changing the narratives to having a different mindset of how you see people. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I think those things are important. So I would like people just to start just different things. Even like in England, like, just start teaching us some Black British history. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's been Black British people that have done great things. There's like fighting for civil rights, all these kind of things. Like, there was like Black businessmen walking around from back in the day when Black people never had no, like, all these kind of things, like just information that I don't know, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's actually going to teach me something different to this crap that they've been spewing the whole time. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I would just want to feel like I can actually be educated.
Okay.
Like, teach me something then.
Well, we gonna do that this month.
Let's
in
go.
TDA.
Go for it, man.
What about you guys?
Retweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, cool.
Yeah.
Brent.
What would they need to do for me to value Black History Month more than I do?
What would need to happen? So I don't want to put it on they or us. That's up to you how you answer it. But what needs to happen for you to say, you know what, I'm looking forward to this month?
Ask me the same question next year. Once it is that we've had a few months operating as TMB.
Okay.
Because we're going to change the landscape completely. But
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
yeah, I don't like complaining too much about this. I mean, I hate when it is, I think it was a couple of years ago when I was hearing from, I think my father was saying they were trying to look to remove Black History Month and you know, throw in like the Browns as well.
Can you imagine?
That pissed me the hell off. Because obviously the BAME stuff,
Yeah, rubbish.
and that would piss me off. But outside of that, whatever initiative gets run, whatever program gets run, I mean, I've never worked in the corporate space, but I know that they run through a whole set of programs that are beneficial to those Blacks that are in those particular spaces. Even if it's performative, there is a leg up that they're basically given. There is preferential treatment that is bestowed upon them. I know some people may not like it because they know it's a token gesture, but others, it gives them a...
Was it last year when they gave Zizi in at that show and they made them do the whole morning and all
Yeah.
that? Was that Black History?
Oh, was that
Month?
Black History Month?
That was Black
What
History
that?
Day.
Was it?
I've done it for a while,
The
though.
day.
Yeah. Wait,
So stuff like that pissed me off.
Why?
I just because it does.
There was a whole day of
Because
like
it's
black
just gone now.
programs
It's
from the
just
top
like
to the bottom.
like you're saying, these Egypt token gestures, stuff like that piss me off. I can't even lie to you.
And that's the thing,
That
because
just rubs me the wrong way.
that's what I'm saying, because I remember that day. There was a day where the program from the
was
beginning
back to back, innit?
all the way.
Yeah.
So that was one day.
Okay, cool.
And then I remember Mo and what's her name? Can't remember her name, but I think she presents Big Brother. They had the Big Breakfast show. That
And
they
did
were
people
doing.
complain?
Of course, it
No,
is.
they didn't. People were talking about how they need to make this a permanent
Oh,
thing.
like
We
the
never heard
thing.
anything back from there.
No, Middle Earth was
No,
complaining.
like the Fiat 500 lot were.
Oh yeah, but they're different. They complain about Love Island. So do you get what I mean? So
Can I ask you
It's all-
guys a question then before we wrap up again? Then, yeah, because that.
we ain't wrapped up once. We didn't even wrap up the first time.
I'm sorry, guys.
Believe him
It's
because
because of what you guys just said.
When everyone,
Wait.
when you hear about
Do you know what it
yourself.
is? It's because of what you guys just said, right? Like, you want to hear the positive stuff, right? You want to learn something, this and the third. You want to see positive images of black people. They gave you an entire day. We're 3.5% of the population. They broadcasted to the entire nation for an entire day. Black presenters in positions of power, right? At least front facing. And they did certain things for an entire month, I think, right? Why did that piss you off?
'Cause
Isn't
when
that
they-
what we want?
Why aren't they on the telly now? Where they gone?
But it's the same thing as Black History Month.
I don't.
Because you're not saying the same thing about Black History Month. You're saying why isn't those things about Black History Month taught all year round? You're saying for this month, I at least want it to be like this. For this month, Channel 4 is saying, I'm going to give it to you like this. Pure black people. We've never seen it before.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. Walk in that spirit, keep it, man. Make changes. Like, obviously, I'm not saying make the whole channel just all black people for the whole year.
Yeah.
But if you got like, what's your commitment to change ain't enough. It's just like you said, it's just token gestures. It's just these 31 days. You don't care. Like,
If for example, yeah, you're doing Filthy, for example, yeah, and they're like, cool, you guys are doing well, black people in Filthy, TDA, no behavior, and you guys have got your fan base already, yeah, cool. But for Black History Month, we're gonna put you guys for a whole day on Channel 4, for example, or whatever channel it is. Do you not feel as though some of the things you're doing as a podcaster, right, and the positive things that can come for that will be kind of exponentially taken to a next level if you're given that one day or that 1 month? Doesn't it aid your thing? Does it have to be a thing where it's cool? We give you a handout, if you want to call it a handout, perpetually.
definitely, there's benefits to it, to getting the platform and whatnot. Like 100%. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah.
some people are going to see it, but I'd still feel the same way. So I'd take the opportunity to do it and utilize it and maximize it as best as possible. But I'd probably still feel the same way. Like, if moving forward, is this just like the day or whatever, like your funny initiative for October and that, and then November, December, January, February, you don't give a ras about, man. I'm still gonna feel the same way. I'm not gonna lie. Again, there's definitely benefits to it. It's each to their own, innit? But whether I've even got proper reasoning behind it,
Yeah.
I can't even say that's even true. But there's just stuff about that just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't like it.
I hear you. Well, I guess we can wrap up there, man.
Nice. Let's get some more headlines.
All right, so our next headline. President Joe Biden has vowed continued US support for Ukraine after further military funding was excluded from a last-minute congressional budget deal. The temporary measure, pushed through to avert a government shutdown, did not include $6 billion in military aid for Kiev, right? The hardline Republicans opposed further military aid, with many openly opposing Mr. Biden's approach to the war. But on Sunday, Mr. Biden said Ukraine could count on US support. He also said we cannot, under any circumstances, allow US support to Ukraine to be interrupted. I can reassure Ukraine we'll get there, that we're going to get it done. This is what he was saying, trying to, restore funding for the war. He also said, I want to assure our American allies they can count on our support. We will not walk away. The US, for context, has already supplied $46 billion in military aid to Ukraine since Russia launched their full-scale attack in February of 2022. President Biden has requested another $24 billion on top of that. Next headline, trigger warning here, guys. And non-emergency Caesarean sections have been delayed because of the ongoing NHS strike, with one woman saying that she feels that she has lost all control over the birth of her child as a result. Both junior doctors and consultants are taking joint action for the first time from Monday, with Christmas Day levels of cover expected until Wednesday. It follows 2 days of strike action at the end of September and will coincide with Rishi Sunak's first Conservative Party conference as leader and Prime Minister. One pregnant woman who asked to remain anonymous has a pre-existing condition, and she said, "I was told I should not go over my due date." Right, but obviously she's in a situation where it's looking like she may have to. After initially being advised by her medical team to be induced on her due date, after discussions with a midwife, she opted instead to have a caesarean section at 39 weeks. She said, "I felt huge relief at this decision, but she has since been told that a C-section is no longer possible because of these strikes." And our last headline, trigger warning here as well, and Turkey has carried out an airstrike in northern Iraq after a suicide bombing attack in the capital, Ankara. This according to its defense ministry. The airstrike destroyed 20 targets belonging to the Kurdish militant group PKK, which claimed responsibility for the bombing. Early on Sunday, 2 police officers were injured in an attack in Ankara. Hours before Parliament was scheduled to reopen after a 3-month summer recess, 2 terrorists carried out the attack. This is according to the Turkey's Interior Minister Ali Yelkaya. One died in the blast, and the other was killed in a shootout with police. And on Twitter, the Turkish government spokesperson said air operations were carried out against the terrorist targets in Metina, Kirkuk, Kandil, and Gara regions in the north of Iraq at 9 o'clock in the PM on the 1st of October, and the separatist terrorist organization, BTO. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay the bills.
Nice. Let's get into some word on road. Okay, so I saw this from Ice Cube. Do you guys refer to Ice Cube as the GOAT?
Of what?
I don't know.
I do.
You do?
Sorry, what?
Ice Cube.
Of what?
Top 5 rappers.
Okay.
100%.
Well, he doesn't want you to do it anymore. Cut long story short, basically, he tweeted, he said, "For those who thinks it flatters me, please don't call me the effing GOAT. Carry on." And it says, "Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the respect, but don't call me that." So
Okay.
That's just...
Well, that's it?
That's it. That was point.
You're the
straight.
GOAT, Ice Cube, to me. See how many albums,
was
like,
like-
consistent? Like, I'm sorry, Esther. Straight Outta Compton, he wrote half of the bars on that, right? America's Most Wanted, classic album. So 2 classic albums in a row. Death Certificate, classic album. 3 classics in a row. No one's done that. Who's done that?
Ice Cube's cold though.
He is. Exactly. He prefers that. He's cool. Give him a compliment. That's it. So that's that. And then also Pete Davidson. So there's alleged reports, right, that I'm not sure if he's talked about that. I think he's talked about his struggle with like mental health and stuff. But apparently it has been known as well that he struggles with drugs as well. And an insider is basically saying that he's not taking it seriously. Allegedly, he's not taking it seriously, and he could wind up killing himself.
Wow.
So that's that. So sending prayers and love to Pete Davidson. Hopefully he can, gather himself together and whatnot. But obviously, this then brings up the whole conversation with Kanye, when Kanye had a problem with him going out with Kim and being around his kids, blah, blah. Even though some of that was just rooted in envy, I don't think it was like a safeguard situation. But yeah, man, love to Pete Davidson. Hopefully he can get himself right. What else is there? Oh, yeah, so Tems made an announcement last week, I believe on Friday. So she posted a picture of her and she was in white, looking beautiful as ever. And she was basically in water. I don't know if you can see that. It's like that. Looks beautiful. And she captioned it October the 5th. That was it. And then someone then came and said, hold on, where is it?
So she's marrying Future.
No.
Oh.
No. Someone said she looks like Yemoja or Yemeya, who's like a goddess or something.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sorry.
Embodying Oshun, which is a god of something. But Tems, anyway, she corrected that, which I absolutely love. So listen to this. So the person said that, right, and posted the pictures of the goddesses that were standing over water in their bodily glow and whatnot. Here's what Tems had to say. Actually, it's about Jesus Christ teaching me how to walk on water, to trust him, and not in human understanding. He changed my life. Excuse me.
Sorry, it's E-Man's KMT for me.
That's why I said excuse me. He needs to respect himself over there. He changed my life, and if you seek him... Second?
Anyway, sorry.
Listen, it's when he gets to the pearly gates. He and his makeup got a lot to talk about. Just off what his foolishness on this platform alone. Anyways, she says, actually, it's about Jesus Christ teaching me how to walk on water, to trust him and not in human understanding. He changed my life, and if you seek him, he will fill you up too. He's a Lord of Lords, the Word of God made flesh. I am his sheep. He is my shepherd, and I have been forever transformed. I am his forever. That's just me, though. So all the people that are coming to... Thank you very much, Brent. Betty and all the people that are coming to attribute her picture to gods that she doesn't serve, she said, respect yourself. And I love that. Kanye West having a bad day. Actually, I don't think he's going to care. I really don't think that man's going to care. There's been leaked footage of Kanye dissing everybody and their mama. First of all, the first one I saw was Cardi. Talking about Cardi, basically saying that Cardi's an industry plant and she was pumped in by Atlantic so they could take down Nicki Minaj. He said that she's not, but essentially she's not great at what she does. Essentially, she's out here singing about, what was it? Oh, fuck him now, get some money. He basically just dissed her in it and just said that, yeah, she's just, like, she thinks she got to the top by singing fuck him, get some money. He's like, no, like, they made that happen for you kind of thing. And Cardi did respond, but all she responded with was an interview that Kanye did with Jason Lee, where he talked about how he's always believed in Cardi, and Cardi's sick and talented, and he's been on her side and riding for her since day one. So that's all she tweeted. She just tweeted that with a blue heart, which I think is very respectful. And then also there's another footage as well where he cusses Nas and he's rapping out beat off beat.
Don't let Yusuf hear that.
Listen, he said Nas was rapping off beat, talking about they did a song and then they should have done a video. He's like, he's out here rapping off beat, not wanting to do a video. Then he goes and does a video, doesn't tell me anyway. And then talks about Pusha T and Teyana because they gave Teyana "Wanna Love Me," a banging song. She does that song justice. But he's basically talking about like how he gave her that song and how like Pusha T is a whole mess. It's just dissing everybody, to be honest with you. And yeah, I don't understand how footage can leak. And he talks about like wanting to leave good music as well, and how essentially he's great. And he's talking about like how at the moment at the time, this was in 2018 allegedly,
the video was in 2018.
Yeah,
okay.
Because he was on set for his documentary at the time, something like that. But basically, he was also saying how he wants to leave good music, and how he's one of the greatest, and how he's spending time performing, going to festivals to support people and whatnot. When he's been talking about doing festivals for the longest time, but people are not, I guess the powers that be, are trying to stop that and whatnot. And he was like, watch me leave good music, watch me leave Adidas too, watch me da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. To be fair to him, he's done everything that he said he was going to do in the clip, so there's that. But the clip is circulating on Twitter if you're interested in listening to the full thing. And then also, over the weekend as well, that was announced that a man has been arrested and charged in connection with the killing of Tupac. 27 years later. So the guy's name is Dwayne, is it Keefe D. Davis. Getting arrested when you're 60 is wild.
He's so dumb though.
Something you did 27 years ago.
Let him land, man.
He's been talking
He's been talking, and that is part of that is in the discovery.
Oh, the interviews that have been popping up.
Yeah.
Like he's been talking.
But that wasn't even what.
Oh, is that what got him?
No.
Got?
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not. That's just an addition. So basically, what it was that his nephew, Tupac, and his nephew had some kind of argument or whatever. I think his nephew was beaten up or whatever. So he's then gone to retaliate. They found a footage from, I think, a hotel or something like that anyway, where the nephew's been beaten up and whatever. And then he's going on different platforms to brag that he was in the car at the time. Also helped them.
Oh, because there's, I think, Las Vegas laws or something like that. They're saying like if you was in the car, like say like you was in the car for like a robbery and you didn't even get out of the car, you get charged for armed robbery.
Well, he's getting charged for something.
So
because they're basically saying he's a leader, and they're saying because basically apparently he was a leader of the Crips. So and apparently he caused the shot. So they're saying based on the evidence they have, he actually was the one who ordered the shooting and the killing of him. So he's got to go, and some of his people them.
It wasn't the Crips.
Wasn't the Crips? What was it?
I think he was the leader of the Crips.
Hold on. It
Yeah,
definitely said on here.
they got like quite a few leaders.
It says he's a former leader of the Southside Compton Crips street gang.
A particular sect.
He's the on-ground, on-site commander
Okay.
who ordered the death of him. This is what the prosecutor said in court.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's getting the day he deserves. So there's just that. And of course, Jada said something about that.
I saw.
Of
I'm
course.
not gonna lie, I did kind of roll my eyes though.
No, I'll be honest with you, I was waiting for her to say something. 'Cause I
Oh,
said,
now we can
you
get
know-
now we can get the
Okay,
closure that we want.
I think how you
Okay.
not gonna say something? So she put it on her story. She said, "Now I hope we can get some answers and have some closure." R.I.P. Park. She released something the other day as well. I can't remember what it was, but I wasn't gonna report on it because I'm not reporting on Jada's love affair with Park. I've got
Is
time for that.
Diddy next?
Didn't she post a picture of fuck on her and Park dancing? No, her and Park singing
Yeah, I
Will
think-
Smith on his birthday
Oh, stop it.
or something like that,
I
innit?
think it was that.
Or was it her birthday?
I don't think it
It
might.
couldn't have been Will's birthday because she must hate that man. That's wild.
No, it was her birthday because Will done a post for her the same day, innit? Will done a post for his gal and she
didn't-
posted
and
when she posted Park.
what Park would have posted. He was here.
So is Diddy next?
What do you
Sorry,
mean?
Is
Yeah,
Diddy
man.
next? Are they
I'm
coming for him
hearing that.
next? Because in that same uncovering, apparently there was a tape of Keefe D talking to Diddy, and Diddy asked, "Is it our boys?" And then he said, "Yeah." Apparently he put 1 million up and gave it to, I don't think it was Keefe D. I think it was the other person
Yeah.
that I saw in the documentary. I don't think it was a documentary, it was a reaction to all the news. And it was very, very explicit. So I'm assuming it's real, right? They gave him 1 million to kill Suge Knight. Am I saying that properly? Suge Knight? Suge Knight.
Sugar Knight.
And P. Diddy. And Tupac.
Is it?
Yes.
I ain't seen all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
been
watched
playing around for a
I've
few
watched
years.
a few
You know?
videos
Yeah.
on YouTube.
So
Oh damn.
I mean, Diddy's gonna get the day he deserves. He's got like quite a bit. The streets are saying a lot about that man. He might get the
There's
day he
also a clip.
deserves.
You know, Charlamagne used to be really, really, really,
He's
really
ruthless.
He's sitting next to Diddy. He's like, obviously it's not real, but there was a documentary that came out that said that you were involved in such and such, and he was just sitting next to him. He was just sitting next to him. You know how Charlamagne does a thing where you ask a question and then you do that thing and just kind of do that, knowing full well he's just asked something messy. Oh, he was in his bag.
do you reckon they can come get him for that? If they ain't got no proof, just hearsay.
I'm not sure if it is.
You can
It
trace it
matters.
back.
I think if the streets believe this is the case now, that's the most important thing, right? It might be jungle justice.
What, for what? Against Diddy?
Yes.
Nah, I don't think
Ooh,
so.
okay.
Because like this has been out for a while, you know, for years.
So he's already paid them off to not come after him.
No, I think basically no one cares. Innit? Everyone's kind of attributed
okay.
it to the cousin, innit? Sorry, the nephew of Keefe D, Orlando Anderson, right? So him,
The leader of the Crips.
No,
No,
Keefe
his
D's,
nephew.
yeah, his nephew basically
He got revenge
rushed.
for his nephew being rushed.
Exactly. So Orlando got rushed after the Tyson fight. And then obviously when Tupac and them lot was just minding their business in Vegas, that's when them lot rolled up on him. So everyone's just thought, oh, Orlando Anderson, because he's a serious Crip guy, he was the one who basically just killed Tupac because it was in revenge for that, innit? So that's always going to be the narrative. But Keefe D, he's been talking and talking and talking. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't snitch or whatever, but he basically dry snitched, innit? He basically said, the person who did it was in the car, innit? Because everyone in the car is dead apart from him today, he was able to kind of finesse the situation and kind of be free, innit? Right? But because he keeps talking now, and people are talking about it as well, and the witness saying, well, the hand that came out of the window was like a kind of like a chunky hand, innit? And Orlando was a skinny guy. It's not Orlando. So now people are looking more into the case and this, that, and the third. So yeah, it's all his fault, basically. It's
So
all
the
his fault, basically.
Keefe D guy on Vlad was saying that Diddy needs to run him some pee.
Did he?
He needs to look after him. Why was he saying that?
Because this is what I'm saying.
Like you're talking as if he's the
Like, why would you say that?
No, but he's
Like he knows.
Oh, it's only because I've watched a few videos like yesterday, innit? And they were alluding to the fact that Diddy's next because of the connection with this same Keefe D and Diddy. So I wanted to know, in your story,
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with Diddy. It just has to do with a revenge hit
Yeah.
from them beating up that boy.
No, but the two happened simultaneously. So the rumors were always out that Diddy put peas on them lot's head, innit?
Ah.
And it was always going to be the Crips, them like Keefe D's guys, innit? But everyone kind of thought, wait, like that's just kind of rumors. There's no real tangible something there, innit?
Okay.
So it kind of seemed like because Orlando's guys, basically, long story short, Orlando's guys, right, robbed one of the Death Row guys for a chain, innit? When they've seen him at Vegas, they've rushed him. So everyone's kind of just thought it's because he's a serious guy, innit? Like, he ain't just gonna let it slide.
Yeah, it's
And that's why they retaliated
Okay.
that same night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think people kind of forgot about the Diddy thing. So
Okay.
the motivation wasn't necessarily the $1 million, $1 million. It was more so retaliation.
okay.
But at the same time, it helped because you kind of did, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
one bird, two stones, or was
Alright.
it 2 birds, 1 stone?
All right, Diddy lives on then.
Well, good news for the Beehive. Beyonce's Renaissance film is coming to theatres near you on the 1st of December. Proper sick, man. I think she's dropped the trailer. It looks really, really cool. It looks really, really good. But all her production always does. And at the end of the trailer, it says a film by Beyonce, and it's going to be released on the 1st of December. And theatres, but I don't know if that's American theatres or worldwide theatres. I don't know. Find out. But yeah, man, she's got a film coming up. And obviously, to be fair, this is kind of Act 1 of the Renaissance. So who knows what Act 2 is going to be or how many acts there are. So big up the Beehive. We've got 20 minutes left.
20 minutes
So let's get into People's Journal. No, I said People's Journal.
Oh, I didn't hear.
That's right. He listens to things
I'm
in
the furthest away
2.5.
from you.
Sorry?
I'm the furthest, and you know I have hard hearing anyway.
Do you?
When
Since
she's
when?
talking.
When I'm talking. Well, your voice notes play at 3 times the speed. Anyway, 10:24. Got 24 minutes to wrap this up.
Brent said he watches films at double speed. That
does
spun me.
everything.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I listened to voice notes at double speed.
I didn't
No,
say
But
that.
it's the fact that
He
he put it in the
watches
group and was like,
movies.
oh, if you watch it at double speed. I thought, sir.
I didn't say that. I
What?
didn't say that. I
He's going to say he
said,
said 1.75.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
What's
I
the
know I don't
difference?
deserve you fending it for me for them, but
That's all right.
thank
I'm
you
a
very
fair
much.
woman.
How does that work with martial arts movies? You must think you must think everything's the Matrix.
You're so childish. You're actually childish.
I'm here for the comedy. I don't mind.
All right, so welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I wanted to mention is the Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt. It's looking like he's going to be reiterating the government's commitments to making benefit sanctions harsher in a speech that he's got laid out today. He's also, though, to kind of balance it, I guess, also going to be talking about raising the national living wage above £11 an hour. Obviously, he hasn't said the speech yet, but so I don't have all the details. But yeah, that's basically going to be one of the aims he's going to put out there to basically let the people know, man. It's going to be a bit tougher, man. Next thing I wanted to mention is obviously what we kind of mentioned in one of the previous headlines, which is that there's going to be a 72-hour doctor strike and how that's going to really cause extreme disruption. What happened?
I'm just thinking about it. Brent's watching 3-hour movies in an hour and a half. Oh my God, that's a game changer. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, man. NHS bosses are warning patients, right, to expect extreme disruption in hospitals because obviously the junior doctors, the consultants, there's a 3-day joint walkout in England, right? So it began 7:00 this morning, and yeah, man, they're saying that they're looking to bring all the non-emergency care anyway to like a near standstill. So like we said in the previous headline, again, Caesarean sections and stuff are kind of pushed back, man. Like real stuff that people kind of rely on are going to be disrupted, man, which is quite sad. Next thing I wanted to mention is water companies are basically saying that they want to increase household bills, man, by £150. So they're saying that basically because of the challenges, including shortages and sewage leaks that we kind of spoke about some, I think, at the top of the year, all them type of things, they're trying to, sort all that out. Basically, it's going to cost more money, and they're trying to make a case for hiking their rates, basically. The plans would pay for like 10 new reservoirs. It's going to cut leaks, is what they're saying, and stop the equivalent of 6,800 Olympic swimming pools worth of sewage spills. So this is why they need the money, you know what I'm saying? What it's saying is the investment would be about $96 billion, and that's going to be between 2025 and 2030. So the scale of the work means that the average bill in England, if they obviously get the go-ahead or whatever, is expected to be £7 a month higher by 2025, rising by £13 by 2030, equivalent to, long story short, £156 more a year. Next thing I wanted to mention is Nationwide spoke about how house prices are unchanged in September last month. And I guess kind of being put down to the whole interest rate not being increased after the 14th consecutive time, and also a slowdown during the summer. So they reported that there was a 0.8% fall in August. It meant that prices were still 5.3% lower than a year earlier, equaling the biggest annual drop since 2009. Yeah, that's pretty much it, innit? Like I said, that's kind of they're saying anyway, a big part of that is down to the Bank of England not increasing the base rate, which is currently at 5.25%, which marked the end of that hiking cycle over 14 consecutive meetings. And the last thing I wanted to mention is something in Nigeria. And the president, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has announced a 6-month increase to the minimum wage for workers, man. So the workers are set to start an indefinite strike. So they're not doing what the NHS are doing, 3 days and telling you ahead of time. They're saying, my friend, this is indefinite. You know what I'm saying? The unions want the monthly wage to be raised to $255 to help deal with a sharp rise in the cost of living since Tinubu took office in May. So the president's $32 increase only brings a monthly minimum salary to $70. Are you guys deep in what I just said?
Mad, man.
$70. $70. That's the monthly minimum salary in Nigeria.
But don't people do that sometimes, though? Even though it sounds mad, it is mad. But, because the exchange rate there and price of everything is mad. But sometimes when we convert to what it is that we spend, this is our economy here. Mm-hmm. So
That's
money
true.
over there
definitely
is different.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. But if you consider that what the union's asking for, they're saying we want $255. So the equivalent of
Yeah, it's definitely mad,
£210.
100%. But,
You know what I'm saying? So that, you know what I'm saying, that disparity between £200 or $255 and $70, you know what I'm saying? And bear in mind, he increased it by $32. So imagine.
We're on 40. That's
You know what
crazy.
I'm saying? So, yeah, man. He's also pledged to speed up the rollout of cheap gas-powered buses to kind of help with the recent tripling of fuel prices as well. Yeah, man. He apparently has removed the fuel subsidy that had kept the prices of petrol low for decades as well. And to be fair to him, like, from a capitalist perspective, it wouldn't always be the best thing to have subsidies in it, because the people are paying for it effectively via their tax. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if he wants growth, he wants more competition, it makes sense for him to long term to remove that. But of course, it's going to be crazy now for the consumers, which is obviously the case. Hence the tripling of fuel prices. But yeah, long story short, they are striking in Nigeria as well. So they're striking here, they're striking in Nigeria, and hopefully both places can get what they're looking for, man. Or at least get close to it. But that's it for the People's Journal.
Nice. What, Motivational Monday?
Headlines.
Headlines. All right, nice. Let's get into headlines.
All right. So, trigger warning in this one, guys. A woman has been charged with murder after a man in his 60s was stabbed to death
So sad, man.
in what police are calling a race hate crime. So the victim from Easton and Bristol died from a stab wound after being attacked in Grosvenor Road, St. Paul's, on Friday afternoon. He was described by police as a familiar and popular figure in the area. The Avon and Somerset police said that his family are being supported by specially trained family liaison officers. The major crime investigation team is leading the inquiry and treating it as a race hate crime. The family has been offered assistance by SARI, which is a stand against racism and inequality. Christina Howell, 36, from Easton, is due to appear before Bristol Magistrates Court on Monday today. Neighbourhood Chief Inspector Deepak Kempf said that police were grateful to the community for their prompt action to help the injured man and support their investigation. You will still see an increased police presence in the area as our inquiries continue. That's what he added as well. But yeah, very sad news, man. Next headline takes us to Mali, where there's some fierce fighting. It's broken out in northern Mali with the Tuareg rebels saying that they have taken control of the town of Bamba from the army. It comes after the separatist fighters said that they had killed more than 80 soldiers in the center of the country. The government confirmed an army base in the Mopti region had been targeted on Thursday, but it gave no details. The upsurge in violence comes as UN peacekeepers deployed to Mali in 2013 withdraw on the orders of the junta. Thursday's raid on the town of Diora is the most southerly one since Tuareg rebels renewed hostilities in August after the collapse of the 2015 peace deal. But this has coincided with growing violence from Islamist militant groups, despite the deployment in December of 2021 of the Wagner group as well. So the army has already been targeted in Bamba early in September by Al-Qaeda-linked jihadists. And in a social media post, the military said that the clashes in Bamba on Sunday had begun at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he described them as intense. He did not name the fighters involved, but he did describe them as terrorists. So unfortunately, that's what's happening over there, man. Just for a bit of context, the Tuareg rebels who want independence from northern Mali are opposed to the army taking control of bases vacated by the thousands of departing UN troops. And the rebels had once been allied to the Islamist militant groups who took over northern Mali in 2012, a move which prompted France and then the UN to intervene to stop them advancing south to the capital. And the last headline, also in Africa, and a bit of sad news here. No, a lot of sad news, pardon me. A trigger warning as well. A huge fire has erupted at a police complex in Egypt's city of Ismailia earlier this morning. So images on social media showed flames engulfing the city's security directorate, and parts of the building are said to have collapsed. Dozens of people were reportedly injured. Fire engines at the scenes appear to be struggling to contain the blaze, and a Reuters news agency cited witnesses as saying that saying this particular thing, the cause of the fire is not yet known. Deadly fires are not uncommon in Egypt because of the poorly enforced fire safety standards, but still, it's a bit of a mad one. And in August last year, dozens of people died after a fire broke out at a church. I think we spoke about that as well. But yeah, man, hopefully they can control the situation and there'll be less people injured, man. But that's it for the headlines. It's time to pay the bills.
All right, bring it home, Margs. Let's get into reaction.
Go for it quick.
You can get. I'm so pissed. I missed the fight. Like, tried to watch it. Fell asleep. But I was on the phone for so long. Yeah, just trying to wait for the right time. Yeah, the person I was talking to ran out of stamina. Couldn't
Run out of stamina.
Yeah, couldn't take it no more. Talk about they want to go to bed. Shit. Cool. And then by the time I got off the phone, I think I watched the Uysk fight.
Oh yes,
That was all right.
Barrios, yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought that was the one. I thought that was the
Next, you will be next.
Yeah, I thought Cancelo was next.
Nah, Canelo. Nah,
but it wasn't.
nah. It was what's that guy's name? That black brother. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah.
So then I fell asleep. I woke up in round 12. And what I actually wanted to see was her.
To be fair, yeah, I don't think you missed.
Oh wait, you didn't get fight of the year?
Nah, not even close. It was one-sided. It was completely one-sided. Like, again, like they always say, it's cliche, isn't it? But there's weight classes for a reason, man. And him going up 2 weight classes was just too much. And to be fair, yeah, I wish I saw this, I saw the weigh-in before, well, obviously the weigh-in was on the weekend, innit? So I couldn't. But basically, when I saw the weigh-in, and I saw Canelo, doing the face-to-face with Charlo, I knew it was going to be one-sided. Charlo looked scared.
Yeah, I saw him talking. He didn't film with no confidence whatsoever.
None.
None. At the press conference, it didn't sound confident. Like, the stuff that he was saying,
Not at all.
he didn't sound like he believed it.
At all. At
He
all.
was talking about, you ain't seen a fighter like me, or you ain't come up against a man like me. He's like, I'm thinking like, really? This guy? My man said, you ain't seen this level yet, but don't worry, you're gonna learn. I said, yeah, oh my God, he's in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is, I thought he was actually going to go there and actually like try and you know what I'm saying? But I feel like the moment, and also once he got in the ring and felt the shots as well, I think he was just thinking, I just don't want to be embarrassed. Okay. I just don't want to be knocked out, that type of thing. But he showed glimpses of skill, you know what I'm saying? A few good combinations, good defense here and there, but it was just constant pressure from Canelo. That was it. And obviously he got dropped in round 7.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got dropped. He got a shot to the, right hook, hit him in the head. He was kind of buzzed, and he kind of took the knee in it. So it was good. He was kind of, he had his senses about him. For him to obviously, take the knee. and be like, you know what, I need a little 10-second break here. But besides that, yeah, you'd probably give him maybe like 1 or 2 rounds, 2 rounds max. And those were rounds where Canelo just kind of chilled for a bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was decent to watch, but it wasn't really anything. The Barros and Ugas fight, that was much better. Much better. Barros is a serious fight, man. Because I like Ugas.
Punch his eye off.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna stop that.
Yeah. The thing is, Ugas kind of, I don't want to say he bruises easily, but like whenever he's in fights, like you see his eye gets swollen. Again, Spence did the same thing to him. You know what I'm saying? But Ugas is a very durable fighter. But Barros, I've always been a fan of Barros since even though I saw him lose to Tank.
Yeah.
The way he conducted himself, how professional he was, but also how he fought against Tank as well. And that's at 140, by the way, right? I just thought, no, I like this guy. And for him to come up to welterweight now to fight Ugas and win like he did, dropped Ugas twice.
Yeah, I think, was the last one in the 12th?
Yes.
Just before the end. So if there was any time, if he would have been...
Yeah, exactly.
I was surprised about how much like snap was in his punches in the later rounds. Like,
yeah.
Like, this guy was...
Exactly.
He was punching, like jabbing it like it was round 1. I was like,
yeah. And funny enough, a jab dropped him in round 2.
Yeah.
So Barros did well, man. Also, big up Viddal Riley. You know Viddal Riley?
Okay.
I feel like you've probably seen him somewhere. He's a British fighter. He won the English...
Viddal, he's one that got beef with Tommy Fury.
I think so.
He was supposed to come on No Behaviour, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I need to line up.
Yeah. You should, man. Definitely. He's good, man. I used to see him on Mayweather's boxing channel. He used to train out there in America. And I think he was training KSI as well.
The day before the traffic break where I couldn't get here, he was supposed to come here that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's good, man. A lot of potential. I like him. Very good. So, yeah, man. He won the English cruiserweight title. So, big him up. Opataya, he fought Thompson. To be fair, Thompson was just levels below. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those fights where it's like, cool, the opportunity has arisen. I'm going to take the fight. Somebody else could have easily taken that fight. Okoli could have taken that fight. Rakpo could have taken that fight. Other cruiserweights should have been there in front of this guy. And yeah, unfortunately, he just wasn't on that level. But he's a good boxer. He's got potential, man. Tall, strong cruiserweight. But Opataya was just on another level. You know what I'm saying? So big him up though for trying anyway. Caroline Dubois, women's boxing.
Since she won.
Big her up 100%. She's now the IBO lightweight champion. Yeah, she destroyed Rodriguez, man. So and she's a serious prospect. So big her up as well. And also, Fury versus Usyk.
I got announced, right?
It's confirmed.
Saudi Arabia.
It's confirmed.
You going?
That's going to be interesting, though. But who's going to win?
Fury's going to win, man.
I think Fury's going to win.
Fury's going to win.
Because of his reach?
And his size, too big. Yeah. Usyk's body is vulnerable. And obviously, everyone knows that now. Fury won't allow himself to be cheated. Like Dubois. Like, that inexperience, Fury won't allow it. And Fury's a very tricky fighter as well. You know those illegal, tricky things that you learn in certain gyms and on the streets? Yeah, Fury knows all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a very interesting fight though, because Usyk is there to try and win, to be undisputed. This is a potential sick fight as well for decades, man. Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. But there's no date. It's just been confirmed. It's been signed by both parties, but there's no date. They're saying it can be anytime from now to the end of Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia. So that's the end of March. So anytime from now to the end of March, we should be seeing that fight, man. But obviously, Fury's got Ngannou on when's that coming out? Is it next week? Or in a few weeks? Against Ngannou.
Sure when it is.
Yeah. Francis Ngannou, who's a MMA fighter. Yeah, so obviously Fury should win that quite easily. But Ngannou's a strong guy, man. Serious puncher. But obviously, this is boxing, innit? Fury is the best boxer in the world in heavyweight, so it should be one-sided. But entertaining, maybe. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think.
Obviously, there was football on the weekend. A few results. City lost. That opened up the title race, innit, Brent? Fills you with some hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to Wolves. So I think all the teams around them that should.
This is it.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Tottenham.
Yeah. Should inspire them. Well, Spurs. Well, Liverpool. Aston Villa, innit? Oh, Villa beat Brentford Brighton 6-1. I didn't even see none of the. I ain't even seen none of the goals. I need to go watch match of the day. I ain't watched no football because after United lost, I said I'm done with this, and I was with my youth, so I couldn't even watch the game anyway. And even just hearing about how it played out, it's just that is like a catastrophe, man. Like that is crazy. I told you I was expecting 7 wins.
7 from 7.
7 from 7, and I did say if we don't get 7 from 7, it's a problem. It just speaks to the mindset of these men that they can batter them a few days earlier, and then make changes and just have this lackluster performance and just be losing 2 back-to-back home defeats, losing to 0 Palace at home. There's so many problems over there, yeah, that like, I don't know, you could try and like paper over the cracks with little performances and whatnot. But the problems over there run so deep, it's scary. I might tap out of football for a little bit.
Impossible.
I can't watch. I don't know what the future holds. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you can make up all these things like the players, gaffers, it's just going to be this. I've watched the same cycle for so long, rinse and repeat. If they don't give this gaffer a chance to steady the ship over there and right the wrongs that's been going on for the past decade, yeah, it's just going to be more of the same. Sack him, get another manager, 18 months, he's going to be in the exact same position. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, rinse, repeat. I just don't see... Like, everything has to change at that club. Like, everything. Like, the ownership, like, just everything needs to change or they're in big, big, big trouble.
What does tapping out of football for a while actually look like for you, though?
Just not watching it.
And you can't commentate on it?
Huh?
If you don't watch it, you can't commentate on it?
Well, I can, but I'm not going to be very good, am I? I'll talk about it if you want, but if I ain't seen it, I don't know shit. I'm not going to be very good at it. Brother, you don't understand how bad it is over there.
I can see how it's affecting you emotionally.
Huh?
I can see how it's affecting you emotionally. In fact, if you say that you'll actually stop this big thing that everybody knows you to be involved in until it is the season's finished or something changes, but you wouldn't know. You have to wait until somebody tells you it's changed.
Nah, it's tough over there, man.
It really affects your mental well-being like that.
Yeah, I'm invested in my club.
Hell. But isn't it supposed to be through thick and thin?
It's been through thick and thin. I ain't left
You're looking to just divest from it.
No, I wouldn't leave though. You're gonna have to go on a break in a relationship. I'm not leaving. I never said I want a divorce. I ain't going nowhere.
I guess you're doing what the therapist would tell you.
Yeah, if it's toxic, you need to tune out for a bit. You get what I'm trying to say?
That's not what they say.
Bro,
oh boy.
No, it's like I've almost never seen nothing like this. Like I'm saying, over the years since Alex Ferguson's left, it's been bad. It's always been bad. It can get better. There's peaks and troughs, all this kind of stuff, ups and downs, whatever it may be. But the combination of everything now to this point, I ain't seen nothing like this. They're too much of a big club to be run like this.
All right, but it's just one game. Before this one game, you weren't catastrophizing like you are right now.
No,
you were saying we are going on a 7 win streak.
Did you see the fixtures? That's the standards that I hold my players to. That's what I expected. Obviously, I don't know the future. I don't know what's going to happen. That's what I expected.
This was off the back of you seeing how they were playing, right? So it just could be a one-off.
No,
you were just hopeful, you mean? You seem confident.
No, because remember, the games that we lost, I said to you, yeah, the games that we lost, we were supposed to lose. The games that we won, we won. So nothing hasn't happened. There's nothing to be worried about. We lost the game that we were supposed to win now. Like, do you get what I mean?
Suppose you win the next 6 though. Would you be like, all right, cool, I'm back in?
No, because they shouldn't be losing at home to Palace. They should never be losing at home to Palace. There's problems. There's trouble there. Like, there's problems in that club that need to be addressed. You get what I'm trying to say? That the drop off from last season to this season is ridiculous. I've got a message. I can show you the screenshot. I showed my brethren. The second we lost that game to Brighton at home, remember that's a fortress. That's 31 games without a loss. Probably the last game we lost there at home was probably Brighton before that. The second we lost that Brighton game, I said the home thing's gone. You know, like you walk into home games knowing you're going to get the points, or at least some points. Like, we know that as far as we're concerned under Ten Hag. Away, different story. At home, we got this. That's gone. Like, that's gone. We could lose to Galatasaray right now. Like, definitely we could lose to Galatasaray right now. And I didn't see that before. You get me? Because if we could lose to Palace at home, of course we could lose to Galatasaray.
That's not how it works, though.
Kinda.
Because Arsenal fan to catastrophize when it is that we drew with Tottenham. Now we're saying, we can win the league.
Yeah, but you lot chat shit like there was no reason for you lot to be mad about drawing Tottenham.
But there's a reason for United fans to think the world has ended.
It's not just 7 games.
I know that, and that's what I was trying to tell you before you were saying 7 and 7. I'm like, are you sure? That's a strong statement that you're making there. And you're like, yep.
No, going back, I said, that's the standards. That's not to say that's the expectations. The standards that are set for my players, isn't it? And for my team. And looking at that run on paper, they need a good run. You get what I'm trying to say? That with everything that's happened, yeah. Looking at that run on paper, especially with all the home games that we got, yeah, they couldn't afford to lose one of them. Losing one of them is a catastrophe. Like, regardless, go and win the next 6. All right, cool, fine. But you still done this. You get me? Yeah.
The fingernail is long, man.
This one?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna cut it. Sorry.
Please do. I don't think Jean likes that. So Liverpool Spurs, man. And the
Did you see the offside?
Conversation off the back of that.
Did you see the offside?
Yes.
Was it offside?
No.
So that was crazy, yeah. Because
that's a good game as well, you know.
it was a decent game still, and I see someone put it in the group. I think Poet put it in the group because that's onside. So when he said it, it hadn't come up on my screen yet. You get me? So then I watched it, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's on." So I thought they'll just go through the motions or whatever, and they'll get the goal. And the game's still going on, and it's 0-0. What I'm saying? Wait there, what?
Did they do the VAR thing?
No, VAR didn't even check it.
Yeah.
VAR said check complete, said it's all right, whatever. And then they came out after the game and said there was a clear, obvious error. There was a mistake. The goal should have standard and all that. Yeah, that was horrible.
Is it not up to the other team to be like, nah, we want the VAR thing?
You see how long he hasn't been watching football?
Yeah, man. I'm out of the loop,
like
man.
a cricket thing. Oh. I'll take one of my 3, please.
Challenges and all that. No, you can't do that.
Okay.
And I think there's something to be said about once the restart happens, they can't go back. There's certain circumstances. I don't know how VAR runs properly, but there's certain circumstances where they can't get involved. Or if after a certain amount of time, if certain things happens, then this decision has to stand or whatever. So I think it was one of them ones.
Okay.
But yeah, that was disgusting. And then they got 2 red cards. But when they had 9 men, I didn't think Spurs was going to break them down. I thought Spurs, they just ran out of ideas. Liverpool just packed out the middle of the goal. And obviously Spurs attacked through the middle anyway. And they didn't switch it up. And it just didn't look like they was going to get through. That would have been devastating for them not to do that. You know what I'm trying to say? It just didn't look like they was going to get through. Last minute, Matip, own goal. I was over the moon about that. Yeah, I needed Liverpool to lose, especially after the day I was having. You get me? I needed Liverpool to lose, so I was glad for that. But Spurs, man. North London might be white soon, man. No?
Well, if Jackie has a way, maybe. As a joke, babes.
Yeah, no, big result for them though, man. Ange Ball, keep going. You know he's undefeated at home for his career or something like that.
Again, it's only been a few games.
No, his whole career.
No, I am aware, but Ange Ball, this and next. Again, I really am interested in this whole PR around him. And I want to see what happens when his results don't go his way. And people start saying, oh, he's too soft. His management style is not...
He looks like a good man management. He's definitely good with the press and all that. He's like the darling of the country at the minute. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't think... Because it's Spurs, I don't think they'll turn against him. I think they'll cut him some slack. It's Spurs. So, of course, he's not going to win every game. Of course, they're going to lose games. You get what I'm trying to say? So... But their style's changed. You get me? They're entertaining.
He's got them playing.
I don't think they'll turn against him, you know. I think people just manage their expectations. Because even now, I don't think they're talking about Spurs title challenge and up. They're just up there at the minute and they're just doing well. But no one ain't really. You get me?
I saw a video of some pseudo commentators comparing Maddison and Odegaard.
Okay.
And a lot of them were saying that Maddison's better than Odegaard. Is that a sentiment that you hold also?
I've never pit them against each other. I wouldn't say that now. I think there's a conversation to be had if he's obviously now he's in a bigger team. If they stay at the top of the table, doing top team stuff, and he's performing the way he performs anyway, I think there's a conversation to be had. I don't know if I would say it now. I don't know. I think Madison's very good. Like Madison's extremely cold.
He's making it in the England team, right?
Oh, for who? Where's he going in England?
Because I've seen Mount playing there.
Man ain't been in the England setup in ages though. But yeah, I suppose he should. Yeah, he should be in the England setup. Yeah, Madison's very, very good. Like a lot of teams missed the trick, not buying that player. You know what I'm trying to say? Because all they're gonna do is go and have to take him from Spurs for 100 or 90 or wherever it is. Like when you could have just got him for 40. Like that's all that's gonna happen.
You're saying it's inevitable?
What, that he leaves Spurs?
Yes.
Yeah, as long as he keeps playing like that. Yeah, because he's good. he's very good. Like, of course they can't keep him.
Not final destination anymore.
Nah, not for
Even
him.
with Angie, Super Angie.
They've got a massive stadium. What if they start winning stuff in that? But that's the game. That's different, isn't it? If they're winning stuff.
Stop talking about it because it's not going to happen. I don't know why. Start winning stuff. All right. All right. Let's push on.
All right, well, anyway, United are trash, man. They've been trash, though. Obviously, I've been putting up a good fight for a long time, but that Palace result was terrible, man. Don't know what we're going to do. Glazers out. Anyway, let's get into Done Out Ere. Ain't it nice, girls, to be in Done Out Ere by 10:30?
It is. The energy we're going to have moving forward. It's extra nice. Even that.
All right, well, we can go into Done Out Ere. Do you want to play that video about the girl who made the fake rape call? Because people want to, people want their
the Uber, the foods.
People are dying for their pound of flesh. You get me?
That was sad.
Should we give them what they want, Brent?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go on then, click it.
Okay.
I haven't even watched it. I saw the caption on Twitter and I saw it and I just had to scroll past. I don't like, take things in that stupid. Yeah, I ain't got time for foolishness. I didn't need to see it.
And the cab driver, like, I'm literally with teachers right now and they told me to phone Uber because he tried to rape me. And I'm crying and they're going to send me to the hospital. Are you okay?
Sorry to hear about what happened. Let's fully verify your account and
Okay. I'm just really scared.
so that we can help this story to hear about what happened.
This is so
Like a £500 trip.
I think it was 50 quid or something.
It's Uber.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it must be like a...
50. It's not. No. I just looked at that and I thought, do you know what? Yeah, she's obviously young, innit? I feel like, with some young people, yeah, they don't understand that the severity of some of the stuff that they do and the impact it has on others. Because I guarantee you, she doesn't really understand
The impact
of a rape allegation. Do you understand what I mean? She's done it here regardless.
She clearly does because she used it as a go-to.
No,
move.
but I'm not excusing the behavior. But I'm just saying that it shows how dumb,
Like how narrow-minded and short-sighted she is.
like you went that far for something. So do you know what I mean?
You could have been arrested, like if they didn't do whatever, and all the other people that as well who have actually gone through that, all of that stuff just adds to the issues that they face. She's dumb, man.
Like trolls on the internet not understanding the weight of what it is that they're doing. I hear what you're saying. Because she doesn't understand what happens on the other end of that particular thing.
Basically. Because to you, it's like, I just want a refund. I'm going to go to the extreme, but not realizing that
So many people are affected by
this
that.
person's going to lose their job. They're going to get arrested. There's going to be an investigation. Like, do you know what I mean? All of that. And for a refund.
Yeah, and she doesn't realize she will also be pulled into this particular thing.
Because,
Like, did she think she was going to make a call and that was going to be it? They're going to call you for questions.
But that's
They're
what
gonna
I'm
do tests.
saying. I feel like it shows the lack of maturity.
Yeah.
Well, she's like a
Okay.
college student or something like that. She's old enough to understand repercussions and all these things. I just think she
No,
doesn't
but
care.
I know
I'm not saying
slow adults.
maybe she's not thinking it through all the way. Granted, but I don't know if it's just ignorance or whatever the word is there. I just think she didn't care. Like she's like to draw for that. Yeah, you know what that means. You can't say she doesn't understand. She knows. You know what I'm trying to say? Like she like them kind of allegations are not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you didn't care. You wanted your refund. You wanted something that was going to be certified that they could. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And that was the verse that you went with. I can't stake to say she's what's the word I'm looking for?
Mature.
Yeah, and all these things like
No,
just.
we're not saying that
No, the thing is-
she shouldn't get done out.
I'm
of the
No,
not
but you're
business.
saying that she didn't know, like she don't like to say that she don't know what she's doing. She's very much aware
But-
of what she's doing.
But let's be honest. I'm gonna say me at college school. Yeah, I guarantee you, I didn't realize the severity of rape to me now.
I can also guarantee you wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't, of course.
So what are we
But
doing
the
here?
point I'm making is, I'm not.
No, but
the
she's
thing
like-
is,
she's a kid
I'm
with
not
a kid mind.
excusing
They
or
do dumb
justifying
stuff.
her behavior at all. Like that's what I'm not doing. Like she deserves to be done out here, and she deserves to be severely punished. Do you understand what I mean? The same way when we read that story before ages ago. Remember the girl who basically ended up cheating on her boyfriend and lied and said that this guy raped her because she didn't want to get caught cheating. You know that kind of stuff. So I'm saying like, I'm not saying that like you deserve a slap on the wrist, but I'm just saying because I can tell that she's a young girl, like. And I know that she don't get it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, well, she's an idiot. Like, I'm not even here for gender wars. I don't really get involved in them. I'm not taking place in them. I couldn't care less. But this is not helping for all them like red pill man and that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this ain't helping. You're just giving them more fuel for their fire. Like, and the exception never proves the rule to me. You know what I'm trying to say? But people are just gonna use this and talk about all that because obviously you know I have problems like with the fake claims and stuff like that, and the whole guilty to proven innocent and all these things, and it's not true. This is just gonna feed into more of that mindset. You know what I'm trying to say? That because this is the receipts that they're gonna use when they're spouting their crap.
And that's why she doesn't understand like severity of what she's done and how it affects so many. Like it affects beyond you just getting your dumb refund, and yeah, she's dumb, man.
Imagine her just thinking, we're just gonna run it back.
Like literally,
Just
no,
off the
but
back of just saying
but that's
this,
what
that,
they
and
think
next.
it is.
Like showing a picture of your cold food from Uber Eats, and then running it
That
back.
was that. We're just gonna put it back.
It's crazy.
And then it ends there.
Should there be like a punishment for these kind of things?
100%.
Yeah, don't like. Of course, I'm sure you get like charged or
She should
it's
get
a crime.
fined.
No,
Something should happen.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
Fine.
it's a
fine.
crime.
Because you're wasting police time as well, so it's definitely fine.
Okay, then should there be harsher punishments for these things?
She can't go to jail.
Something like that. Some equivalent should happen.
No, she can't go to jail. Men,
Police
there's
station
men
for a week?
who are actually doing shit and they're not going to jail. That's
No, but they
ludicrous.
should be in jail.
That's ridiculous. But
They
they're
should
not.
be. Yeah, they should be in jail too, though.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not though,
exactly.
because people are wanting and requesting evidence. So no, she cannot go to jail. Sorry, that's wild. That's wild. That's a wild suggestion to make.
To me, if she's of age and like, let's just say if she stopped it here and we saw it as a prank, fine. If she went to the stage of like going to the police station and doing all that type of stuff, writing what happened, 100% she should go to jail. But if it just stops here, then obviously we know she's just being a child, being stupid.
There needs to
Even
be.
if, but hold on, sorry. If she did all of that though, and then later on it turned out she was lying, or she admitted that she was lying, I'm sure, isn't that a criminal offence though?
Yeah, I think so.
It is.
Yeah, but there just needs to be harsher things. I hear where you come from, Esther. Yeah, don't get me wrong. And there needs to be
Even like
harsher
community
punishments.
service, yes, but I'm not gonna be sitting here and talking about she should go to jail when there's real life people who are committing crimes, but because some people are out here requesting their torn knickers, they don't get jail time. That is
No,
stupid.
there should be harsher punishments.
Respectfully.
Yeah, for men that do that stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway,
100%.
yeah. They're
for
like,
one
that's-
anyway.
Yeah, granted, like there needs to there should be harsher punishments for men that do that stuff, yeah. But so we don't have this grey area and so we could just take away the problem, yeah. If false rape claims and allegations, yeah, was punishable by jail, they would cut out. They'd probably eradicate them.
Yeah, 100%.
You would think so.
I mean, you would hope so, but if you do the crime, then do your time. Like, but like, I don't know. I know it's a harsh punishment. Don't get me wrong.
You know those prison camp things?
Scared
Yeah.
straight, man. That's
Yeah.
literally
Boot
what
camp,
happened.
yeah.
Yeah. She needs to meet that man at the door. You know what I'm talking about? That's who she needs to meet.
Yeah.
Oh, what a time.
I don't
I
know,
was
man.
waiting on you at the door.
That's what I mean. She needs to meet him.
An icon.
Bob.
What an icon, man. That's so funny.
Yeah, there needs to be something, but I don't know, man. But yeah, she's definitely done it here anyway. Is that on my face or is that on the screen? What is this? Okay.
I'm glad you stuck to that.
That was a beauty spot.
So you thought it was a beauty spot?
Thought it was, to be honest.
I'd just be producing them.
This is it.
Get into the outro, man.
Do you know, like a group of women yesterday was telling me how handsome and beautiful I am.
Where were you?
I love that.
Hmm?
Where were
Is
you?
that the brunch?
At the brunch.
Because
Okay.
brunch is great vibes. That's how we
Thinking they were
compliment each other
drunk.
as well, huh?
They were tipsy.
No, I said brunch brings out great vibes. Do you want to
No,
say
no,
what? If you want to say what you want to say,
Tipsy
you
people
say
tell
what
the
you want to
truth.
say.
When you're inebriated, drunk people tell the truth.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's what they say.
No, I mean, it's facts.
Yeah, I heard someone say that if you look to kiss somebody whilst drunk, it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't it?
It's just a fanny flutter.
Fair play.
I swear.
It's a false. It's not an attraction. It's not. It doesn't speak to the realities of the attraction. 'Cause when you're sober, you might not want to go down that route.
Yeah, but then what if you've never had the Dutch courage and because now you're drunk, you have the courage to do it?
I feel like it varies from person to person.
Because do you know
But
what
it's
I mean?
not absolute where it's like anyone you want to kiss when you're drunk. That's because you think they're fine. On your most sober days, you might not want to kiss them again.
Well, these were
Excellent.
older women that never had no intentions for me.
I like all
How'd
of
you
them.
know?
What ages?
Because if they had intentions, they would have. How old are they?
Yeah.
60 plus.
55, I think. And
Are you sure they weren't trying to get you to,
Grooming.
you're trying to get me to do what?
not grooming, but be a young thing on their arm?
roster.
No, I don't think so. They was out with their daughters and stuff as well.
Yeah, and then I mean, what's that ever stopped?
It was just a
cougar.
wholesome. It was just a wholesome family brunch.
That's sweet, though.
Friends and families and that. The girls were doing their thing, and they were like, "Yeah, we was talking. I was telling them, and they all conferred. They were like, "Yep, him, proper."
They're not over the hill, obviously.
No, the young one said I was nice as well.
Age?
28.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
White women tend to be complimentary.
How do you know they were
How
white?
did we get here?
How did you know they were white?
Just trying to reduce your your shine.
He's trying to basically bring down his chest.
You know what's annoying?
They were white.
They was the whitest women in the world.
So dumb. Thank
That is too funny.
you. Hey, Brent. Now that's pardon.
Brent's a hater.
Like, that's content.
Brent is
so
a hater.
done.
Now,
You
Brent
were
don't
going to
hate it, 'cause he
leave
asked
us
me, like,
with that,
just in a
thinking it
No,
was all
Brent
beautiful
is-
black women.
But
You
that's,
know,
but that's genius,
55
though.
is really 35 for blacks, you understand? Nah. They look 70 odd.
That's wild.
Well,
I love Brent, man.
Never mind.
compliments are compliment. Man. I don't care where I get it from.
I hear that, man.
Love that for you.
Keep him coming, bitches.
Bitches?
Sorry. Sorry, that word rolls off the tongue too easy.
It actually was a bit toxic.
Let's get into our outro.
Oh dear. Nice, very nice show today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video before you come out of it, and also subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys for tuning in as you always do. Also big up our researchers as well for helping us curate the show. Follow us on our social media platforms. The day after TNB, there's been a lot. Brent was working over the weekend, boy. Doing overtime. Every time I went on my Instagram, got another DM. So please kindly go on our Instagram pages and TikTok, the day after TNB, and kindly repost our videos, share them, and do all that great stuff. Follow us. No, I said that. Yeah,
Thanks,
you can send your
Mark, by the way.
dilemmas. Sorry?
Thank you, Marks, by the way,
For what?
For what?
for starting to share that stuff. I appreciate it
Okay.
a lot.
Okay, that's great.
A
Please,
year in.
that's fantastic. A year and a half. If you wanted to send dilemmas, the number is 07564841073. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com.
Can you say one more thing?
Of course you can if it's quick.
We're on 132 likes.
Blacks
Black
are
History
down.
Month.
Why do you keep doing that? If you keep pointing out to them,
This is it. This is it.
they're gonna not do
This
it.
is it.
Sorry. No, I think I maybe just wanted to draw the correlation.
Black History Month.
Say what?
No, because you know when we were talking
What are you
about
commentating?
when we were talking about obviously God bless Shayla, right?
Nah, people just
300
keep
likes in 10
Shayla's
minutes.
name out of their mouth.
300
Shayla's
likes.
back.
No.
Maybe.
No, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, big up Shayla.
Welcome home, man.
Yeah,
Go, we miss you.
Aquaba.
there you go.
No, Aquaba.
But you know what I'm saying?
That means welcome.
That
Yo.
show, 300 likes ASAP. Black History Month, positivity, 132.
They're not happy with the Black History. Yes.
Well done.
I'm telling them.
maybe, I don't know.
It's a Nigerian thing.
Nah.
See what happens in a different country next day. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think if it is, we start talking about just the positive stuff about our history.
I think I will go up. But when you're triggering people,
This is it. It's the
they're
trauma.
too distracted.
It's the trauma.
It's the trauma.
Cool.
They're too distracted to go and like things.
Just positive stuff now. Okay?
Anyway, you
Good.
know what I like? The front door. Goodbye.
You know what I was about to say?